Hello, everyone, and welcome to this early access Curse of the Vampire Coast Flash tournament, I should say. Yeah, 'cause it's going to be a smaller tournament. It's going to be a four-man tournament. And today, we have Lore Master of Sotek, Janna on occasion, Dov Plays, and Tokshen, who are going to be playing for the title. Well, I don't know if we have an official title, but I think this next Friday, we're actually going to have a bigger tournament. I'm going to try and get something really big together for launch day with like 8 people. It's an all-day event, but it can be the early access champs. So it should be quite a bit of fun. So, as far as the first matchup goes, everything, I don't think my mic's muted. I think we're good to party. The trailer is already out. Yeah, I actually have already uploaded that on the channel. But anyways, we're going to have Lore Master of Sotek taking on Janna on occasion in the first game. And remember, the 2 initial rounds with the the groups of 2 are going to be best of 3, and the finals are going to be a best of 5. So typically it goes about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, sometimes an hour and a half, depending on how quick it is. And guys, we are here with the new Spectator mode. So for anyone that's watching, let me make sure that you guys can actually see all that. So, okay, good. We got the army blocker up. So I actually was able to host this game. So I hosted it. The players join. It's really nice. I can pick the map. I can pick the time limits. I can, we're actually going to go unlimited there. I can pick the funds. It is an incredibly useful tool for hosting tournaments and just kind of I guess you could say Total War esports, right? Hey, Dov, thank you for the donation of the $10. He's actually playing in the tournament today, so he's already trying to bribe his way to the finals, which is always good to see. Sacrifice to the pay gods, may the best man win. Dov is actually playing in the next round, so he's going to be playing Tokshen. So we're actually here with Spectator mode. Janet's going to be playing the vampires versus Sotek, who's going to be playing the dinos. So start when ready. We'll let him know it's good to go. Hello, everyone. Yes, this is Spectator mode. So you can see here, I have full control over the game. I can kick players out. I can, I can pick the maps. I can pretty much do everything. It's really nice because now I don't have to rely on the players to pick the right maps or different things like that. I can also host the game, and I can keep one lobby the entire tournament, which means when Sotek and Janet are done, the other 2 players just join. I don't have to rehost. It really cuts out a lot of the kind of the chaff, you could say, of hosting tournaments and things like that. So it's incredibly nice. And yeah, we'll be getting back to our Luther Harkin campaign in the next day or 2, probably Monday or Tuesday, maybe even tomorrow. I just wanted to kind of do something a little bit different today. And of course, multiplayer is the true spirit of my channel. But also I wanted to let people actually watch the Luther Harkin campaign to its full entirety. Because that was like 4 hours yesterday. So that was pretty wild. Yes, spicy meat is always good. Oh, you're painting some gore herds, Dustin. Cool. Yes, this is Spectator mode. So if you and your friends are playing, you can host the game. Your 2 buddies can join. You can, pick the map they're going to be fighting on, which is pretty cool. You can be like a tournament host. Now, this is a matchup. Lizardmen definitely one of the factions that I think are on, they don't have their regiments renowned. They don't have their kind of a whole DLC yet. So they're on the little bit of a weaker end of the spectrum, but they're still, do have some competitive tools. And Janna on occasion is going to be going with the vampires. So can probably expect a lot of powder, but I think that Sotek's going to go super wide. I really think the way that the Lizardmen win this matchup is just spam Saurus. Just get like a whole battle line of Saurus with a couple spears mixed in there, and I don't really know how the Vampire Coast could deal with those sheer numbers, because, they're really good at isolating big targets, but Saurus just bully their infantry so hard. Crashing on occasion. I should have dressed up? No. Oh, as a pirate. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like the trailer. I can, let me see here. I can see Sotek's army, and I can switch back and forth. Oh, that is so awesome. But I don't want to do it because, they're probably not going to stream snipe each other. I trust these guys not to do that. And, I have to click start battle. Okay, so the player's ready up, and then I start it when I'm ready. Oh, that is so useful for tournaments. Because so often, you're not ready yet. The players start it. The game's going. You're like, oh, everything's out of kind of whack there. But I think that Vampire Coast is going to be a very strong faction, but a little bit tough to play. Because they do struggle against mass hordes of infantry. Like, if you just spam, tons of Chaos Infantry or different things like that, it's a little bit tricky. You have to be very, very on top of your, defensive micro. They're more of a reactionary faction. You're not going to be putting too much pressure on your opponents, but I think that they're definitely very solid. Hey, glad you guys like the channel. I think that we'll see a Queen Bess before the day's over. Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get rid of the army blocker here. We'll get rid of old Luther Harkin with his $1 million smile. Yeah, so we had 2 streams. We had one on Saturday, one on Friday. Yeah, we had 2 Luther Harkin streams, and then this is actually going to be the first multiplayer stream. It's a little bit harder to get these together, simply because, there's only so many influencers that are interested in multiplayer, right? There's like a handful. And yeah, it's tough, but thankfully Tokshen was able to step up today, and he's never played one of these before, but I played him a couple times in the first game, or played with him, and he was very solid, so I'm quite excited to see how he does against Dov Plays here in the next round. But anyways, here we do have a showdown between the Lore Master of Sotek, who's going to be playing, I think he's playing the sub-faction, Krokar's faction here. So he's going to be playing the Dinos. And his army's definitely looking pretty good. Very wide, very thick. He actually has some Kroxigors mixed in there, and I think they got buffed. I'm not sure. Anyways, so for the armies of Sotek, he does have Krokar on foot, which is good. He's a small target. He has anti-large. Hand of the Gods, very good for blasting things like Count Noctilus. King Priest with Heavens. Wind Blast is also very good against bunched up groups of Depth Guard. That's really what it's for. It can like one-shot a group of Depth Guard if you get a good cast on that. On top of that, Saurus Warriors with shields. You're in the front line with a couple groups of skink cohorts who obviously can go fisticuffs with zombies. He does have some cav on the flank, so Cold One Riders here who did get a pretty substantial combat stat buff. 34, 28, and 50, which is pretty cool. But they rampage, unfortunately. But they do have really, really juicy stats. So they're pretty powerful, but rampage, of course, being the drawback. Skink cohorts on the far side of the formation as well. And he's got some spanking paddles. So these guys are ready to go paddling, having some fun. Kroxigor is definitely a good counter against Depth Guard. So if you do see, I mean, Depth Guard are the counter to Saurus and Skinks, and he brought the counter to Depth Guard. So I really like Sotek's army quite a bit, and I would actually be quite excited to see the Dinos get a win here. So as far as the forces of the Vampire Coast, we do have Luther Harkin up in the skies. Luther, of course, very powerful melee combatant. Not like the cream of the crop, but 44, 42, 460 with poison. And what really makes him powerful is even if you don't want to engage in melee or you take some damage, Luther actually can use his pistol. So he can just shoot from the back of his Terrorgeist, which is very strong. And it hits like a truck. It also adds a miscast chance, physical resist mitigation, or lowering on the target. He does have Slan Gold. He does have All Hands Ahoy here. He's got the Hornswaggle, which is... Hornswaggle is such a good ability. Any sort of slow and like lowering defensive stats is just so powerful. He does have Power Siphon. He's pretty much got all of the abilities and the Magical Void, so really going all out on the items, which is very expensive. In the back, he does have Deck Droppers, so he's got Deck Droppers with handguns, which are pretty much specialists against dinosaurs. But against like an army like Sotek's right now, I mean, I guess they have good targets in the Kroxigors, but Sotek doesn't really have anything to kind of deal with them. He does have some Pterodon Riders, I think, in Deep Vanguard, who are really good against Deck Droppers, but a 3-to-1, like 3 Deck Droppers against one of them is a little bit tough. We do have Count Noctilus, or not Count Noctilus, just a regular Colossus. Start when ready. Let's let the guys know. He does have a Necrofex Colossus, which I think is a pretty good choice. Good against infantry, good at shooting, you know, just these targets in general. He's going to be a menace. Secondary line is zombie pirate gunnery mobs with handguns. We do have a vampire fleet captain with the Lore of the Deep. And he does have a Spiteful Shot, the Tide Call, and the Fog of the Damned, and a whole front line of... Oh, look at this build from Janet. So Janet has halberds in the front line mixed in with zombie pirate gunnery mobs. That is so cool and thematic. I love it. Great build here from Janet. And the Colossus is going to be taking some pot shots. It looks like it shot somewhere over here at the Saurus. I don't think it hit anything, but here comes the first volley. Going to be cleaving into some of these poor skinks, which is a little bit unfortunate, but hey, it can shoot while moving, which is cool. So it's kind of like the Death Guard in 40k, how they have that inexorable advance effect where they can like advance and shoot their assault weapons, which is so incredibly cool. Right here, the Colossus advancing. Some of the skinks on the ground from Sotek, very good play here. Those guys are the natural counter against the Deck Droppers, but look at this. As the zombies advance, they're taking massive volley fire here on the Chameleons. So beautiful play here from Janet. I really like this build with having these kind of guns mixed in the front line, but he really needs to get down those Deck Droppers because they're just going to put so much pressure onto the Kroxigors here in the back. And there are no Depth Guard, there's only halberds, so the Kroxigors aren't really going to be able to find a home. But anyway, Skinks can probably do well here against the zombies. They're obviously not very strong in combat, so the Skinks collide in the front line. Kroxigors coming in with their paddles. It looks like Luther Harkin actually landed over here, but Sotek's able to respond very quickly with the Kroxigors. He does Hornswaggle him, but they can still give him a paddle, and so Luther's going to want to fall back and get out of there if he can, for sure. In the front line, Temple Guard taking some very heavy handgun fire down to almost half health, which is not good at all. This is a very good kind of slope here where Janet deployed his forces. He's able to just get beautiful fire on pretty much all the targets. Over here, Fog of the Damned going down, which does lower leadership and melee attack. It's from Lore of the Deep. Definitely not bad. It's going to be really allowing his halberds and other gun units to last a little bit longer. On the flanks of the Skinks, looks like they're sneaking up and around, probably going to try and get back here into the Deck Droppers. We got a pretty even fight, but it looks like the Kroxigors coming around with their spanking paddles. They're going to be spanking these guys up. You can see these zombies are being sent flying. And oh man, you gotta love these alligators just clubbing these low mass zombies and sending them to the hills. But it looks like the Necrofex Colossus has switched, and the handgunners are turning about face. It looks like they might be turning to shoot the Kroxigors. And the one group of Kroxigors actually breaks just from withering fire from all these zombie handguns up on the high ground. So Sotek really investing in dealing with Temple or the Depth Guard, but unfortunately there weren't any, so he's really gonna have to rely on some of his other elements here. Pterodon Riders are coming from Deep Vanguard, and it looks like his Coldon Riders he's been keeping in hiding for a long time. So I don't think he forgot those. I think he hid them just to kind of, let his opponent, Janet, use all of his resources on the rest of his army. But it looks like the Cold One Knights are coming out now, which are going to be very good. The backline being compromised by Skinks. So some of these little bastards are able to sneak up and around the flanks and get in here. And zombie pirate gunnery mobs have 7 melee defense. So these Skinks are basically like chosen fighting against the zombie pirates, which is cool. Curse of the Midnight Wind going down as well. A lot of the Zombpirate front line is taking quite a bit of damage. The gunnery mobs, of course, going down, but the halberds are holding relatively well. Kroxigors here are very beat up. Temple Guard are still grinding it out. And the Pterodon Riders, again, a beautiful answer against handguns. If he had brought like 2 or 3 of the Pterodon Riders, I think he would have been able to just absolutely shut down that sky play. Now, the battle's looking pretty good for the dinos. Over here, the zombie pirates are getting a little bit beat up. Right here, the guns are having to fall back. It would be a pretty good idea for Janet, I think, to do a bit of a tactical fallback. But yeah, he's just kind of running out of resources. Luther Harkin is being dragged down by the angry dinosaurs, the Cold One Riders who are just on the hunt. And yeah, leave it up to the Lore Master of Sotek to pull off some Lizardman magic here. But again, it's not over. The Necrofex Colossus is a monster. The gunnery mobs, the handguns are going to turn and probably just blast these Temple Guard just right in the face. That's going to be a lot of armor piercing. And it's into their backs too, so their shields aren't going to help them. It's a really good play here by Janet. He's able to just annihilate those Temple Guard. They're probably going to get taken out pretty quick. But Krokar does have anti-large. He also has armor piercing. Now, Cold Blood doesn't heal anymore. Oh, look at him just get punted by the Colossus. Colossus is by far one of the coolest units. But this is, I think, just going like with mass infantry is really, really tough for the Vampire Coast to handle. Now, they can. If you had seen things maybe like the rotting or the Prometheans, the Crabs, and things like that to really kind of block up the infantry, I think that could have been a little bit better. But I did like his build quite a bit. Like, Janet's build was awesome. And it's looking like Sotek's going to pull this one out with the Kroxigors and their spanking paddles. Look at that, coming in with those guys, doing beautiful work. I mean, even though there was no depth guard, they still performed pretty well. Luther Harkin is a pretty good choice, but the fact that Sotek went with like a Footlord, Luther didn't have a good target. He's really good at taking out big, heavy, like mounted threats, right? But Krokar's on the ground. He's just a tough target to kill, and he was able to get in there and grind it out. So down here you can see Luther Harkin, the mad Commodore himself. Looks like he's going to be dragged down by a horde of angry lizards with their spanking paddles, which is going to be cool. We do have the Necrofex Colossus here. He's going to be taking some pot shots as well. It has some of the cooler attack animations. And when it gets really low, check this out. So when the Colossus gets low, it actually says abandoned ship. And all of these zombies jump out and start fighting to defend it, which I think is a really, really cool mechanic. So you can see it is going to collapse there, but the zombies do jump out and fight, but that's going to be all she wrote. So really well played. The Lore Master of Sotek is going to be taking the first game here. And did I update the scoreboard? I did. Okay, I was just looking for a second. Did I forget to update that? The zombies are going to fight to the bitter end, and Sotek is able to win with the Lizardmen, which I definitely think, they have a good matchup there. The Pterodon Riders and Saurus are very cost-effective here, but I think Sotek's build was well-rounded. He had answers against Depth Guard, he had answers against gun lines, he had answers against large targets, and the Pterodon Riders were able to really troll the handguns, and the Skinks were able to deal with the flyers. It was a well-thought-out build for sure. But yeah, I think that had, I mean, we're still all learning, and Janet was obviously experimenting with a very cool build, having the guns in the front line. And it looked really good initially, but again, I think once the lizards really started to like kind of swarm on him, it was tough to handle. But that's where things like Mourngulls come into play, because Mourngulls can kill like unlimited light infantry. They have a bonus for infantry. That's where Prometheans come in. They have high mass. They can really block things up and allow your guns to fire a little bit longer. He needed some tools in the back line to really shut down those Skinks, because his guns were massacring the Kroxigors and doing a ton of work. But once they got surrounded, he didn't really have any defensive elements. So yeah, let's go ahead and update the bracket here. So we'll update the gold player score. Sotek goes up 1-0 here, and if he does take the next game, it's going to be him moving on to the finals, which is going to be cool. So the next map, we're going to do the Black Ark is not a good map anymore. So let's go ahead and pick a map here. We're just going to kind of do it like free flow today. So we'll just do Ekrund. Ekrund. And so we have the Vampire Counts versus the what are they? The Blessed Dread, I think is what they're called. That is the new Dark Elf faction. So it looks like we're gonna have Lokir Felheart versus some sort of a Vampire Lord, which is gonna be fun. So there aren't the new Bloodlines, of course. The new Bloodlines, Necrarch, Blood Dragon. There's all kinds of new stuff. So it's incredibly fun here. So quite eager to see which one he's gonna bring. I think against Dark Elves, he's probably gonna go with Von Karstein, because the Von Karstein Lord has a Vortex ability where he can like lock down enemy flyers and things like that. So yeah. Cold Blood gets rid of Rampage. So if you use Cold Blood on like a Kroxigor or a Feral Dinosaur, it'll get rid of Rampage for a period of time. And it adds leadership too. So I think it is a bit of a nerf, which is unfortunate. But what they also did is they went through the Lizardman roster and they gave them a ton of buffs to their stats, right? So Golden Riders got a massive buff to their weapon strength and their melee attack and a bunch of other things like that. So they got a buff to stats across the board on a lot of their rampaging units, but Cold Blood kind of got changed because I don't think I just assume, oh yeah, we got to get the screen blocker up. You guys can't even see the armies unless I click on them anyways, so I don't think it matters too much, but we'll get the wrong one. With the old boy Luther Harkin in there, which will be good and tasty. And move this one. Cool. We got the screen block. Yes. So the vampire count bloodlines represented in multiplayer. Yeah, they are. So you can pick a bloodline lord. It's just that's the only thing it adds in multiplayer. It doesn't like change the rest of your faction play, but you get to pick a lord from it, which is very very fun. I don't know if Vlad got a buff. I don't think so. He's still really good. Vlad is still. I think Vlad is actually a really good choice against Vampire Coast. He's kind of like hard to kill. He's a small target. He's very durable. So I don't know. Don't worry, more screen blockers will be back. So as far as spectator mode, I can click on both players' armies and see them, which is very cool. So let me peek at Janet's army. Oh, we got some fun stuff coming up. Sotek looks like he's going with a bloodline lord. There's going to be one, so you guys can expect that. So I can click on both armies and see them, and on top of that, I can like pick the map, right? So I'm going to be picking Ekrend here. I can pick the battle difficulty if it were like AI focused, the time limit, funds, different things like that. I can also kick players from games. And also, I'm the one who then starts the game, which is very, very useful. So I like that quite a bit. Yes. My Death Guard army is mostly painted. Yeah, if you guys are asking about 40k. Yeah. Any tips for greenskins against beastmen? Yeah, for greenskins against beastmen, I actually have a really fun build where you get 2 Doomdiver catapults, 2 nasty skulkers guarding it, front line of like 3 black orcs, like 2 savage orcs, and then an Arachnarok queen, and you just kind of and a couple goblin archers, and you sit and defend. And you just shoot all their centaurs with Doomdiver catapults, and when they come in, like they have to fight the Arachnarok queen. It's really tough to win actually for the beastmen there. Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining today. Yeah, I don't really need a screen blocker here, but I accidentally clicked on one of their armies, so now they are appearing. So Tek's army is pretty interesting. He brings these. I mean, he brought Croxagors. His build with vampire counts is pretty different than what you would normally see for sure. Janet's build, he has a couple unique units as well. And just know that you're going to be getting some sweet goodness for sure. I do play Death Guard. And guys, I actually just got a 40k table set up in my living room. So we have a huge 4x6 gaming table. I got my playmats, I got my terrain. Like, I'm ready to party as soon as Italian Spartacus is. So if you guys want, go tell him on his channel that he needs to play 40k with me. And we'll make a video. Start when ready. I'm going to let the guys know it's showtime. Matt64, thank you for the donation. €5 more if we get right on Propawa. Oh man, I will do that when we get a greenskin game. We need to get the greenskins. Yeah, we need that.
Give me a good old rub.
Hopefully we'll see greenskins today. I think that what's his name? Tokshin does play that.
Spicy meat. Yeah, boy.
There's a lot of different. Once the DLC comes out, usually like a couple days before they release it, they put out the official patch notes, and from there I'll make a whole video going over all the patch notes and all the changes and everything. So I only have access to my Death Guard army. So I have Mortarion, I have Demon Princes, Blight. I have a huge bomb of Blight Lord Terminators. Like and they're both ready. I have to start the battle. I have to remember that. So I have a very good Death Guard army. It's very strong. I actually haven't. I don't know if I've even lost with it yet. Yeah, I don't think I have. And yes, guys, if you are just joining the stream, we are having a flash tournament. We are now in game 2 between the Lore Master of Sotek and Janet on occasion. Sotek did take the first game, as the scoreboard does indicate, and it is a best of 3. So we have a best of 3 here, and then Dob Place is going to be playing Tokshen in the next best of 3. And the winners of these 2 best of 3s will then be playing in a best of 5 finals featuring the Vampire Coast DLC. We are here with some hot early access. And yes, make sure to hit that like button. Oh, that's weird. This isn't Ekrend. Okay, so sometimes there's like 1 or 2 maps that if you pick them, it accidentally sends you to the wrong one. But it's okay. We can play on this map. It's a new Vampire Coast map. So okay, this isn't Ekrend, but let's do it. This is actually one of the new Vampire Coast maps. This is one of the ones that is somewhat viable for multiplayer. Map selection bug. Let me let him know. There's like 1 or 2 maps that do that. It sends you to the wrong one, but it's okay. Yes. Yeah, I've looked at the new campaign mechanics for the vampire counts. It's pretty cool. Actually, after I finish Luther, if I do decide to do another campaign, it'll probably be a vampire count bloodline campaign. So yeah. That lake is a tiny problem, says Sotek. Well, use some creative tactics. Yes, and we'll get rid of the screen blocker here in just a moment. I don't think we need the screen blocker this stream. We'll just get rid of it. Yeah, let me remove that. So we don't need that. Yeah, I got the screen blocker. Don't worry, guys. I mean, even if this is a bit of a narrow choke, I mean, Sotek still can do some massive flanks through the forest and everything, so it's still a decent map for him. It's really not that bad. And, I mean, at the very least, he could move through one of these flanks, and he has some really good line of sight blocking terrain, so it might even be better for him on this map than it is for Ekron. This lake here in the middle is pretty cool, so you can see this is one of the campaign maps where you have to... This is like the best map for the Vampire Coast because your opponents are always forced into this choke point, and you could just have like a massive firing line of guns. It is just sheer brutality, so... yeah. Thank you, Cohen. Really appreciate it. Appreciate the kind words. Camera is sometimes I notice like the camera like goes like halfway and like chops off my like half my face, so I gotta make sure to fix that up. Sotek's going to be deploying his forces, and let's go and take a look. So Sotek for his lord, he does have the Lamian Vampire Lord. So this is one we have not seen. She's really good at like dueling and kind of subterfuge. She has seduction, so you can use this on let's see, duration 41 seconds. Wow. So it's basically like the Siren's Call that is available to Soloistra Direfin. Melee attack and speed. She has lightning reflexes, which she can use, which gives 22% damage resist and speed. So that's going to put her dragon up to like 110 speed, which is really, really powerful. So that's cool. She's kind of like a hunter. She does have access to shadows. Looks like we do have the Scepter of Stability here, which gives magic resist. Penumbral Pendulum. We have Enfeebling Foe. So she has shadows as well as vampires, which is quite nice. Yeah, so she kind of has a bit of a duelist kit, some mobility abilities, things like that. So yeah, I like that quite a bit. He just does have another Terrorgeist as well, joining up here with the Lamian Vampire Lord. Got a couple Cryptors, which are going to be pounding on, so for example, if there's Harganeth Executioners, if there's Corsairs, anything like that, the Cryptors are going to just take them to Pound Town so hard, which is going to be quite a bit of fun. We got Graveguard in the front line. We got a couple Ghouls as well, so Crypt Ghouls mixed in with the Sternsmen, standard Graveguard. Skeleton Spears here in the front line, and a couple Zombies. I'm not sure where Sotek's going to be deploying. It looks like he might be going up through the forest there. We'll find out in just a moment. If I lose, I'm blaming the map. If I lose, I'm blaming the map. Both players saying that. So yeah, we have a Lamian Vampire Lord, which is one of the new Bloodline Lords. Pretty powerful stuff, for sure. One of the bigger weaknesses of the Vampire Coast roster, definitely mobility. They're very, very slow. Like, you are always going to be playing pretty reactionary. You can't really determine the initial state of the battle, right? You have to wait for your opponent to make the moves, typically speaking. Lokir Felhar here. Lokir is a very powerful duelist. You guys have seen him in some of the early access battles I put up on the channel. 57 melee attack, 50 melee defense, pretty good for a dragon unit. 520, 50. He regenerates because of the Helm of the Kraken, which is down here, I think. He must have that, yeah. So this gives him melee defense, and he's basically like a Boris Todbringer or a King Lewin, except he's on a dragon, so he's very, very good in that respect. He has breath attacks, a Merciless Slaver to punish leadership. Definitely a very fun lord. We have the Harpies here, so the Harpies are ready to go. Harpies are pretty decent against Vampire Felbats and things like that, but yeah, you can see the Terror guys. They're just going to give him the business. He does also have the Raven's Herald, so something you don't see terribly often. And yeah, let me let the guys know to start when we're ready. If I lose, I'm blaming Turin. Oh my god. The Raven's Heralds, repeater crossbows, 58 missile damage. So if these guys are able to like kind of out-kite, and there's no Felbats for the Vampire count, so they could probably just sit and take pot shots at the Lamian Lord. But again, she does have that speed buff, so she can easily chase those guys down. In the front line here, we have Dread Spears, we have Harganeth Executioners. It looks like we do have one group of those bad boys. So Sotek's probably going to be sending both of his Cryptors to take these guys out. We got Black Arcs in the back row, the Corsair Handbows, which is a really good choice because if you summon zombies in the back line, these guys actually have really good combat stats. So 32, 24, 28, so they can fight off zombie summons a lot better than Dark Shards can. We do have a Darkness Caster with Soul Stealer, Chillwind, and Mark of Pain. Some spears in the back. That's pretty much it. So very cool army. Looks like the battle's underway. So Sotek is not going to be marching up through the river here. He's going to be taking the wide route through the forest, which I think is not a bad idea. I mean, there's tons of cover in here, right? And then he could advance. Although he has a big enough force that he could split up his army a little bit, but I think he has to be careful with Lokir Felhard and some of these very powerful units here. In the back, we do have the Slaanesha's Harvesters. These guys, obviously a good choice. Now, these units did get nerfed very heavily. Well, not heavily, but I guess. Soul Stealer, as well as its other ability, which is the Word of Pain, can only be used if they're above 50%. So if you burst these guys down, they actually can't cast their spells, which I think was good. I think they're a little bit too powerful. They brought too much to the battlefield, too many free spells, but now that they're nerfed a little bit, I think that's nice. Anyways, the Lamian Vampire Lord and the Death Shriek Terrorgeist definitely have dominance over the skies. The Raven's Heralds, though, definitely going to be very annoying. They don't have the best ammo. It'd be nice if they had like Gunnery Whites that could give them more ammo, but the Dark Elves are going to be advancing into the forest. This is a bold strategy, Cotton. I'm not sure how this is going to work out for them. I actually think it's going to be a little bit rough if they fight in the forest, because the Black Ark Corsairs with handbows are going to be obstructed by the trees, and then the Cryptors are just going to run rampant. So a little bit scary there. But it looks like Lokir is going to be going in for a fight with some Harpies, which is a very bold move. Granted, he does have a Word of Pain and Soul Stealer, and it looks like Sotek's going to be running. I'm not sure what he's going to run to because he doesn't have any support back here, but yeah, it looks like Janet was able to peel off there and decided he didn't want to engage. Sotek does also have a Mana Battery Necromancer who's taken some Corsair fire, so he's going to want to pull that guy back, not give it up for free. And you can see here that Sotek does pull back the Necromancer pretty quick. He's going to be scurrying back to the ranks here. The Cryptors, in the meantime, are going to be scooting forward here. We do have Skeleton Spearmen, we have the Tithe, we have Zombies, and it looks like the fight is underway in the sky. So the Lamian Vampire Lord is going to be engaging. Lokir Philhart's going to follow up, hoping to get the Alpha Strike on the Lamian Lord. So Sotek definitely should use his ability here, the one that lowers the damage taken. So he has used Seduction. So Seduction on Lokir is going to lower his melee attack, Enfeebling Foe. So he has 0 melee attack right now. Literally like the minimum chance to hit. It's like zombies trying to hit Chosen. That's pretty nice. The Harpies are getting torn up. The Lamian Vampire Lord with the Seduction and Lightning Reflexes giving damage resist. I mean, nobody's really hurting each other yet. It seems like they've both been kind of missing a little bit, but that's definitely not a bad situation because the Harpies are going down for Janet on occasion, so that's going to help the Lamian Vampire Lord secure this guys. But Soul Stealer has gone down from the Lore of Darkness, and in the forest, it looks like these zombie hordes are going to be charging in, so the Tide. Oh, and a massive pendulum coming down. Beautiful stuff there from Lore Master of Sotek, just absolutely shrekking those Hargoneth Executioners and the Dread Spears. That was a beautiful cast. And it looks like the Cryptors have engaged on Spears. I'm surprised they didn't go after the heavier infantry in the middle, but with the Golems, that's going to be a ton of stopping power. Man, that was a beautiful pendulum right there. So up here in the skies, the Lamian Vampire Lord is going to be fighting Lokir Felhart. I'm not sure why this Terrorgeist isn't helping. The Terrorgeist might have been accidentally sent to chase off the Harpies, but it needs to turn around and help because this Lamian Vampire Lord is being given the dirty business. She might be able to run away. She does have some speed abilities, but that Terrorgeist definitely needs to get back on track and maybe snipe out the caster or something. But the mainline fight heavily favoring the Vampire count, so if the Lamian Vampire Lord can run, get invocations, and just kite for the rest of the fight, I think that Sotek will be in good shape. But Lokir Felhart is a much better duelist. He has that natural regeneration, probably better combat stats. Yeah, he has much better combat stats, and he does also have the Helm of the Kraken and just some other good abilities. So the Terrorgeist here definitely could switch onto the Raven's Heralds up here in the sky, but it looks like it's going to be going after the caster, who doesn't really have any protection, so this is a good choice. The caster is definitely going to get shreked. It's on a mount, it's a large target, and this Terrorgeist can definitely do quite a bit of damage. Oh, beautiful play here. But Janet, on occasion, with a really, really good response, he's able to send in the Slaanesha's Harvesters with the poison, and it looks like Big Daddy Lokir is coming in. Oh, this is such a bad situation for Sotek. The Terrorgeist here is going to get annihilated by Lokir Felhart. It's poisoned, it's trapped, it doesn't look like it's going to get away, and the Lamian Vampire Lord is in okay shape. Yeah, it's healing a little bit. Of course, it does have the hunger, so if it does decide to fight in melee, it can heal, and it does have invocations of Mehek and things like that. And it looks like the infantry force of the Dark Elves is starting to get pretty tattered here, but having this Terrorgeist get beaten up so badly, I don't know, if Sotek can maybe get this thing back, like run it back here, join up with the Lamian Vampire Lord, and get a really fat invocation of Nehek. Oh, but it looks like a Chill Wind going down. Chill Wind, not the highest DPS spell, but still does some work against zombies and lower tier troops. And the Cryptors from Sotek, he gets him around the back, and he comes in with a rear charge. Beautiful play there from Sotek, but again, Lokir Felhart. Janet is just responding very well to all of these attacks. Lokir is going to come in with this heavy, heavy damage and be able to take out these Cryptors pretty efficiently. Dread Spears piling in, so really good kind of counterplay here from Janet on occasion. He's able to get in there and respond relatively quickly. But the Dark Elves don't really have much in the way of infantry at all, but the Lamian Vampire Lord is kind of healing up a little bit, almost at half health. The healing cap's still quite a bit of a distance away, but the looks like the Raven's Heralds are out of ammunition, so yeah, oh, this is a good play, because the Raven's Heralds are going to screw up the AI and also block up the Lamian Vampire Lord. So Lightning Reflexes does give speed, but Janet with a beautiful play, he's able to pin it in with the Raven's Heralds, and from here you can see Lokir Felhart is going to be seduced by the Lamian Vampire Lord, but he's not having any of that shit. He's going to be on the hunt, and you can see here that the Lamian Vampire Lord might just have to stand and fight. I think that's probably going to be the best choice. But yeah, the battle is looking pretty good for Janet on occasion. Here in the back, Lore Master of Sotek, his other Terrorgeist is going to be dying to the Harvesters and the Sorceress. He did jump in and get some good damage here, which was a good play, but Janet responded very, very quickly with that outstanding countercharge from the Slaanesha's Harvesters, and then Lokir Felhart got in there and gave him the booty as well, and now he's going to be hunting the Lamian Vampire Lord. So Sotek diving into the melee, which isn't a bad choice, because then if Lokir comes down, he does have the support of some Skeleton Spears and other units like that, and it looks like the Vampire Hordes have just bursted through the front line, so all of a sudden, a massive tide of zombies and Sternsmen and other heavy-duty troops are going to be pushing into the back line, but I don't think that if Sotek loses his Lamian Vampire Lord, I don't think he's going to have enough stopping power to really deal with, Lokir. Lokir is so strong. He heals, he has really good combat stats, he has breath attacks. I mean, a Merciless Slaver, the fact that he does lower leadership could lead things to crumble that much quicker, but it's not like a huge game changer here, but it looks like Sotek is able to get away with the Lamian Vampire Lord, but the handbows, the Corsair handbows, are getting some good shots, and she only has 70 armor. The Scepter of Instability giving her magic resist isn't really going to save her against the crossbows there, and I mean, the vampires have a ton of stuff on the ground, but honestly, Lokir I think is too fat and juicy right now, and there's still too many handbows. Handbows are actually really good against chaff units. Like Corsair Handbows could easily beat skeletons and zombies. It looks like a breath attack going down from the zombie dragon, able to get a decent square hit on Loki or Felhart. But down she goes. The Lamian Vampire Lord has fallen. Janet on occasion able to get some beautiful counter charges with Loki or Felhart, and him and his dragon Maelstrom, who is incredibly cool looking by the way. Look at this thing, so gangster. Should be able to take this one pretty easily. Right now, just send in Loki or Felhart, take out the Necromancer. That's going to be your best bet. Skeleton Spears on the flanks are going to get picked apart by the Handbows, and from there, it's only a matter of time until the Vampire counts do crumble. Yeah, so right now, this is going to put the series, if Janet should win this, it's going to put it 1-1. So currently, we will be going to Game 3, which is going to be quite a bit of fun. Very, very excited for this. So we did get to see Loki or Felhart. We've seen Vampire Coast in the first game, and hopefully there will be some vampires in the third game. There will be quite a bit of fun. But yeah, another chill one going down there from the Dark Elves, doing a bit of work against this massive blob. I mean, this is still not a pushover of a blob, but the Necromancer is crumbling. And honestly, if Loki or Felhart were to go in there and just dive and kill the Necromancer, the rest of the army probably would crumble pretty quick, just due to leadership issues. And you might even have another Soul Stealer, maybe? I foresee that could be pretty strong, perhaps, maybe a little something. The Corsairs, of course, if you look, they do have 80 armor. And, none of these troops here have good AP, and that's going to be it. So GG. Great game. That was really good. That was a really, really good game. So we're going to be going to Game 3. Janet lives on an island. Yes, he does live on the glorious island of Guernsey. So fighting on those island maps, definitely very solid for him. And yeah, we're going to change the map now. So let me go ahead and update the scoreboard here. And Janet, on occasion, is going to tie up the series. So let's see what Sotek pulls out for the big guns. I wonder if he's going to go for the coast. Or, I do need to pick the map first. So let's go ahead and do We do not want to do Slan Gold. So I want to pick one that hopefully works. Oh yeah, Sotek going for the vampires. That's a boy. What a hero. What a hero. So we'll go on Eshin. Let's hope it works. So with the new Spectator mode, I can actually click on the different armies. So if I click on Janet or on Lore Master, I can see the armies, which is pretty cool here. So I do like that quite a bit. Janet going with Skaven, which is really interesting. So Skaven do have some good tools against the vampires. They have heavy artillery. Warp Lightning can really do well against like, Colossi and things like that. So that was a really good game. Shout out to my peeps in Guernsey. Absolutely. We don't need the screen blocker, guys, because you can only see their armies if I click on them. So no stress there. Yeah, some of the legendary lords, to answer your question, Luring Lion, have been changed. I know that Grimgor got a buff to his mass and his melee defense. He still kind of sucks, but I mean, there have been changes to a lot of the other old school lords. And a couple days before the patch comes out, I'm pretty sure they'll send us the completed patch notes, because sometimes they send in like tweaks right before launch. So I'll make sure to do a video on all of that for you guys, and it should be quite a bit of fun. The Zompirates, Vampirates, yes. Yes. Yeah, and also there's a whole new UI change with army selection. So when you pick an army, I can't show you guys here because I'm not playing, but when you pick your army from the drop-down menu, it's very different. You can see that like the armies are categorized and they're highlighted within like the sub-factions are all put together. It's much cleaner now, for sure. Yes. So let them know that start when ready. Hopefully it actually takes us to Eshin. If it doesn't, we'll restart. If it puts us on like a weird map again, we'll definitely restart. I don't know about King Luin. King Luin was already pretty good, to be honest, so I don't think he needs like a whole lot of changes, but yeah. I think some good stuff is in order here. Again, thanks to Dob Plays and Matt64 for the generous donations. Really appreciate it. And yeah, we're looking good. We're having a good old jolly time. I think Vampire Coast is like not top tier, but they're pretty good. They're like, they can contend with most people, because all of their lords are good. Like every single one of the Vampire Coast lords is really strong. They have some, very defined style of play for sure, but I think they're going to be pretty good. Grimgor does need some milk for sure. The Slan Gold map is actually more of a quest map. So, okay, I was just making sure they weren't ready and I wasn't paying attention. It's more of a quest map. So, like one player starts like up on a hill and the other one starts like in the pits. So it's not really like a fair map for multiplayer. The most competitive Bloodline Lord, I think, is going to be the Von Karstein Lord and probably the Blood Dragon Lord. The Von Karstein Lord has a Vortex and a Slow, which is like so powerful, and he can summon Vargulfs, which is pretty cool. And the Bloodline Lord is a really powerful duelist, so if you're fighting like Chaos or something, it can be very strong. Who do you say is the hardest matchup for the Vampire Coast? I think that they have a hard matchup with Dwarves. Wood Elves are really good against them. I think Chaos is really good against them. Yeah, those are probably some of the hardest ones because Chaos, I don't hit start yet until Janet on occasion is ready. Now I can hit start. So, yeah, I think Chaos is really good against him because you just bring Sartorial, the Ever Chicken, and then you just spam like 100 infantry units. And it's really tough for the Vampire Coast powder. So then they have to fight with like crabs and Morngulls and things like that. And like if you bring some Halberds and Forsaken, you can usually deal with that. So, yeah. Dwarves are tough because they have like so many shielded infantry and their bows are really good at killing your guns. So it's tough for sure. But I mean, trust me, guys. In the next couple weeks during launch, of course, I'll be putting up my own battles every day, like me playing against good players, and you guys will get a chance to see like the builds. I'll be playing a ton of Vampire Coast, so this is a cool build. There's already a Morngul Haunter, so yeah, let's go ahead and take a look. So for the Skaven, well, let's look at the Vampire Coast first. Here on the front line for the Lore Master of Sotek, he does have some Morngulls. Now they're really good against Skaven because they do have a missile resist, which I think is like 25% or something, 30 actually, yeah. So against like slingers and things like that, they're very durable. They have really good offensive stats. I mean, I think they have Frenzy. No, just 38 then. They do have the Hunger, so when they're fighting, they regenerate. They have a bonus versus infantry. They hit very hard, so if Skaven decide to go with like Storm Vermin, these guys annihilate them. They also have Stalk, so you can like deploy them out on the flanks of the Skaven and push them in on the weaker spots of the army. We do have a Morngul Haunter as well from the Lore Master of Sotek. And this guy is pretty beastly. I mean, yeah, one of my favorite units in the campaign, actually. He does have an aura, a slowing aura, which isn't the best against Skaven, but it does lower all nearby units' speed by 36. So, for example, if you're playing Bretonnia or a heavy cav faction and they charge in on you, you just put this guy in the middle of your army. He's going to slow them down, allow your spears, your spears and halberds to do some heavy lifting. So, I like that quite a bit. So, looks like he's going to be deploying up on the high ground here, which is a good choice. He's got zombie pirates, deckhand mobs with polearms, just a whole deckhand mob front line with polearms and dual wielding weapons. Here in the back line, he does have deck gunners. So, deck gunners are kind of like Ushabti Great Bows. They have really good range at 245. They have shield breaker, good armor piercing. So again, really good against storm vermin, good against like, heavier troops. They even do okay against rat ogres and things like that. 2 cannons in the back. So the cannons pretty much a hard counter against any Skaven artillery. They'll annihilate like warp lightning cannons, anything like that. So the way to really beat the Vampire Coast is to go super wide. The Bloody Reaver's Depth Guard here. So these are the Regiment of Renown of the Depth Guard. They're very powerful. They have armor piercing, they have anti-large, 67 melee defense, and they have enrage and the hunger. So that means they're going to be regenerating while they're fighting in melee, which is very, very cool for sure. Ronnie Brown is here, the legend himself from my campaign. What a hero he is. And oh, we got Count Noctilus on foot with his massive chin thing. That thing is so protruding. Look at it. He has Invocation of Nehek. He has Drown Dead to summon zombies, and he can also summon powder units. Wraithstorm is very good. He can summon more zombies. I think he's probably the best choice against Skaven because he can kill Doom Wheels, Helped Abominations, Bonebreaker Lords. He can spam summons, and the summons are very good against like low-tier Skaven stuff. He is just a really solid choice. So I think that's a great pick here from the Lore Master of Sotek. And yeah, we got Morngul Hunters and a massive Vanguard. So Ronnie Brown is going to be leading the charge of the Morngulls over here. And yeah, hopefully Ronnie Brown does the trick. Hope so. And I always like to see the Vampires do well. They're such a cool faction. Start when ready. Cool. For the Skaven, we got some Death Runners on the flank. So Death Runners, not a common pick here, but again, against Depth Guard, these guys would put Depth Guard in a trash can pretty bad. So I really like that one pick there. Janet has a ton of Slingers. Oh my god, that is a lot of Slingers. Night Runners, Skaven Slaves. He's got 2 Assassins, Lord Skrulk, and a front line of Clan Rats with shields. My goodness, that is a ton of Slingers. That is going to be really tough to handle. I think Janet on occasion might be onto something. Like, these cannons don't have any good targets, really. I mean, what are they going to shoot? Granted, the Slingers should be able to drag down the Morngulls. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so here come the Morngulls. They're going to be sweeping in. He definitely needs to get those guys into the Skaven cookie jar. If he can find those Death Runners and kill them real quick, that would be a huge boon. But I think that Janet's army is a little bit advantageous against what I see here from the Vampires. The cannons are shooting. I'm not sure what they're shooting at. Maybe going... They can't see the assassin, so honestly, I would probably just start shooting Skrulk. Ooh, but those cannons doing huge work against Skrulk. And the Deck Gunners are also shooting in against the Slingers, and they're doing a really good job, actually. So these are just... Oh, these are Night Runner Slingers. But this is a pretty good catch here. So Deck Gunners seem to be pretty good against these type of units here. You can see they're taking their pot shots and tearing up these poor rats, which... So far, so good for Sotek. Those cannons actually paying their dues. You can see here that Lord Skrulk is actually going to be running a little bit because the cannons were targeting him and also hitting the Assassins. And the Morngul Haunters on the flank coming in, and it looks like, oh, the Concealment Bomb has been popped from the Death Runners. Those Morngulls have lost their targeting, so Sotek's going to have to do that again. And he knows where they are, so he's going to be sending in the Morngulls, and it looks like the Haunter and the other one's going to be sneaking around the flank. But here come the Night Runners. So they're going to start throwing pebbles at the Duck Gunners, who are very squishy, so definitely not a bad situation, but yeah. If Sotek can, focus down the more heavy-duty of the Slingers here, like the Night Runners and things like that, he should be okay. Count Noctilus also got a really good zombie pirate deckhand summon here in the back line, which are going to be attacking Night Runners. So good play from Sotek so far. Front line of the Zom Pirates are going to be engaging with Clan Rats. I don't know who would win that. They both have 120 models. Now the Deck Gunners, they need to fall back. Sotek needs to put those guys like back up on the hill here. Oh no, this is so bad. The Death Runner is going to get into the back line for free. This is a really, really tough engagement. The Bloody Reavers should just intercept them probably. I mean, there's Death Runners coming from all angles. It looks like here a Wraith Storm is going to be going down, and the Haunter is over chasing a little bit, but these Morgul's about to just get into this back line and give the business to these Skaven. So very, very juicy entry right here. And pretty much a mass terror route going down on the Skaven Slaves, which is to be expected. Morgul's do, of course, cause terror. And the backline a little bit compromised here. You can see that the Carronade gets taken up. The Morgul's are finally going to get there, and these guys are very good against infantry. So here they come. The Morgul's, oh, and some summoned zombies from Noctilus are going to swoop into the back line. So he sacrificed the cannon. I mean, not intentionally, of course, but the Death Runners are probably 100% going to die against this goon squad back here. So the Death Gunners are now going to start taking some shots, maybe doing a bit of a fallback. Some more Death Runners coming in on the flank for Janet on occasion, which is very, very good stuff. And you can see they're able to outmaneuver the Bloody Reaver Depth Guard, who, you know, are slow, tanky infantry, right? Count Noctilus is going to be trying to get into there to intercept these guys, but it looks like both Carronades are going to be shut down. But if the Carronades die, if he can at least get the Death Runners, like, without taking too many losses, I think he'll be in okay shape. So the Vampirate's doing okay. The front line, relatively awash to zombies versus Clan Rats, but the back line is, with this Morgul Haunter, is getting annihilated by Lord Skrulk. The Libra Bubonicus and all these debuffs going down, but the Assassin also taking work. Oh man, this is a close one. And Lord Skrulk has got to be hiding somewhere. I don't know where he is. He's probably scurrying about. We'll take a look and find him in just a moment. But anyways, the backline situation, very, very wild. The Death Gunners are getting taken down. The bounce power actually in the favor of the Vampires. They seem to be cleaning up the Skaven Elites in the back. The Morgul's are just doing work. The Bloody Reaver Depth Guard are just in great shape. And yeah, you can see those Morgul's are just really the MVPs right now. And yeah, it would appear they have a bit of a niche in this matchup. The Skaven, however, do shut down the Death Gunners. And the Morgul Haunters, I think, are just causing tons of problems. Just bullying these Skaven. It has a bonus for its infantry, and so did the regular Morguls, so the small-sized rat assassins are going to take a ton of damage here. And I think that Skrulk actually got killed, and we just missed it. I think one of the Haunter was able to just assassinate him. So if that's the case, then that's brutal. Wraith Storm going down from Count Noctilus here, able to punish some of the Death Runners as they do fight the Tide of Skuld here. The Tide of Skuld, of course, a regiment renowned of zombies who actually aren't bad in melee. They have like 32 weapons rank, which is not shabby at all. They should be able to clean those guys up, but Janet looks like is losing here in the back line. The Bloody Reaver Depth Guard are doing a very good job, but the Carronade is going to get taken out again by these Death Runners. But somehow, Lore Master of Sotek was able to summon zombies on top of it and keep them alive, and it looks like he might be doing that again. Yeah, he's just summoning more zombies to make sure that his cannons stay alive. But take a look at the battlefield. The Skaven are looking a little bit worn down. The Assassins are actually getting killed by the Morgul's, and all the Slingers are just throwing their pebbles at the Morgul's as well. And yeah, I don't know, Lord Skrulk. The fact that Lord Skrulk died, he must have died very, very early. The fact that he died like that, I think, is the reason the game was lost, because a single Libra Bubonicus cast on the Morgul Haunter can do a ton of damage. Really good Invocation of the Heck going down from Count Noctilus. And it looks like the Skaven are going to get cleaned up here. So very well played to both players, for sure. I think the Slinger build, Janet was on to the right direction of things, but I don't know. Yeah, he was able to just kind of do his thing. Maybe some Storm Vermin in the front line would have been good to just pound through the Vampires, because I don't think Clan Rats were able to do it quick enough. But anyways, Assassins are going to be pouring in here, trying to clean up the Morgul's. Back line is pretty much all offline. The Death Runners are just done for. The Morgul's back here do have the Hunger, so when they can fight low-tier troops, they can actually heal. Count Noctilus is healthy. There's still a cannon here, which can just shoot at any of these Skaven targets. And there are Vampires everywhere, guys. There are Vampires. Hey, you guys are welcome. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. The Bloody Reaver Depth Guard here are going to be chasing down some of the Clan Rats over on the flank. The Morgul Haunter is just being hit by 1,000 pebbles. He's still able to heal, so he's able to fight. And if he can fight in melee, that means they're going to be healing. So the best way to kill the Morgul Haunters, like honestly, if Janet were to run away and just let the pebbles kill them, they wouldn't have any means of healing. Granted, Invocation of the Heck generating massive value here. So a lot of people were saying that Morgul's were bad and not good. And yes, right as I say that, they do get pounded by a bunch of pebbles and die, but I still think they do have a niche in a couple matchups. And they did really well there. They snuck up on the Skaven, they dealt with high value threats like Death Runners, and they just did a ton of work. So that was, yeah, that was really good. That was really good. Awesome build by Lore Master of Sotek with the Count Noctilus and the Morgul Haunter, and it was just a cool build in general. I really liked it quite a bit. Seeing Noctilus on foot isn't something you see terribly often either, so I think that was a pretty cool little thing. Let's go ahead and update the gold player score. So let me find that, and that's going to be 2-1. So Sotek's going to be moving on to the finals, and we'll get Dov and Tokshan in here in just a moment. All right. That was a great game. Yeah, those Morgul's did a lot of work. So Sotek's going to be moving on to the finals. And let me go ahead and update the names here. That was a good... All those matches were really good. That was actually a really good series. So let's go ahead and reset the scoreboards. It's a nice little 2-1 series. We got to see plenty of Vampire Coast here. And now we get to see Tokshin. So it's his debut here. I know Ronnie Brown is a beast. Ronnie Brown is a beast. So yes, Tokshin is definitely an OG. It's going to be quite a bit of fun. So I have to see who joins first before I do the names so the colors match. But let me go ahead and tell them in chat. At Dov and Tok. You guys are up. Game open. And the great Dob Plays joins, and he's going to be picking the Vampirates. So you guys are getting plenty of Vampire Coast action. Again, big thanks to all of you guys for joining. Really an honor to cast here with you all. It's been quite a bit of fun so far, so let's go ahead and update the names. Yeah, Tokshin's really good. I played with him in the first game, and like, I know he plays a lot of other games other than Total War, and he's a little bit rusty right now, but damn, he can be really good when he's on point. So Dob Plays. We'll see if he can handle the great Dob Plays. And we're going to say, let me make sure I spell his name right. And they're here. Well played, Janet. That was a great game. All of those games were really good. And thanks for putting on a show and bringing some fun builds and everything. So well played to Janet on occasion. Let's get a big shout out. And all of you guys, if you haven't seen his channel, make sure to go check it out. He just did an awesome recap of the Ever-Chosen Invitational, and he's a true lad. He is indeed. And yes, also make sure to hit that like button. It does help the stream quite a bit. And, you know, the more likes the stream gets, the more that YouTube puts it up so new people can find it who are outside the community. So we have about 1,300 people here. So I think we could at least get up to 500-600 here pretty quick. So let's do it, boys. Let's do it. So Tech says that's revenge for the first Ever-Chosen, Janet. Oh, that's awesome. There was a bit of a... Yeah, let me let the guys know. Pick... Oh, what am I typing into? I'm not... Pick armies and start... Wait. So we got Bretonnia versus the Vampirates, which is going to be really fun. I know, isn't it cool to see Tokshin in here? Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I remember when I had like 5,000 subscribers, he was one of the few people, as far as like other bigger YouTubers, who would actually like play with me and like, you know, do videos with me and stuff. So I remember him. He's a true OG, a very, very good dude. You know, when I was a wee lad, he was there. And they're ready. Damn, they picked their armies fast. All right. Hold on. We gotta switch the map. Yeah, we can do Eshin again. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. Usually you want players to play the same maps anyway, so Eshin's fine. I already picked it. They probably picked their armies in accordance with that, but it's really nice now with the new Spectator mode. I can actually like pick that. Tokshin, give the vampires the business. I'm excited to see what he brings. I mean, there's so many routes you could go. I think just spamming like cheap men-at-arms and peasant archers is probably the way to go, but... So yeah, we'll see here. And as somebody said, for Lady Turin. Yeah. For the Lady Turin, yeah. Yeah, well played, guys. Well played. All right, so here we are. Oh my god. The double Colossus coming in from Dob Plays. Oh man, that's going to be crazy. All right, guys. So let's take a look at the armies of Dob Plays. So I really like it so far. He's got Rotting Prometheans, which are the ultimate cav blocker. And a lot of people don't know this, but Prometheans, even though it's not on their tooltip, they do have charge defense against large. So you put them against heavy cav, they just stand there in their crab shells, and the cav aren't going to do anything. So great stuff. They're a little bit slow, so you have to get them in the right position. A little bit tricky, but again, I'm sure Dov can handle it. So two of the Rotting Prometheans in the back line, which are very good against Bretonnian heavy cav. He does have the Lamprey's Revenge, which are the Regiment of Renown. These are the Rotting Promethean gunnery mobs. So they have the exact same stats, but they basically just have like guys with guns on the back, which is cool. And on top of that, they also regenerate, which is very, very powerful. So these guys heal themselves. Two Colossus. He's got Count Nautilus up on his mount here. Of course, a great pick against Bretonnia, and also a Necrofex Colossus here. So it's going to be really tough, but his front line's super weak. Got Zombie Pirates with polearms, so very good against Bretonnia. He does have one gunnery mob here, and that is pretty much it. He does also have some Fellbats up in the skies. So Dov with a very tanky Colossus-centric army. So very, very cool. And for the armies, the nobles of Bretonnia, he's got Knight Errants. He has a Knight Errants. On top of that, he has Knights of the Realm here. For anti-large, he has a Knights of the Realm and Knight Errants, I think. Yeah, so it looks like 2 Knights of the Realm, 3 in total. Yeah, so 3 and 3. So 3 Knight Errants, 3 Knights of the Realm. Whole front line of men-at-arms with shields, just kind of low-tier troops. He actually has 2 Grail Relics, so going to be getting ham-bone with these things. What is our weapons rank? Yeah, it's 45. That is an interesting pick, but again, there's a lot of terror, so maybe there's a little bit of school of thought going on there. He does have a couple of heaven spells. So he has Wind Blast, Harmonic, Curse of the Midnight Wind, and Euron and Thunderbolt. And on top of that, he does also have King Lewin. So King Lewin definitely can annihilate the Colossus. So if Tokshin can really clean up the chaff on the ground in some of the smaller units, and King Lewin can just give the business to the Colossus, he should be in pretty good shape here. So let's see how it goes. And they're ready. Start. We'll let them know to start when ready. Pretty cool pick. I mean, those Knight Errants, definitely some good cycle charging, could take down the zombies and the chaff units, but the crabs are going to be tough to kill. Knights of the Realm might be able to do it. King Lewin definitely can, and there are peasant archers as well who can put some withering fire on top of some of those bigger targets. So, yeah, it's going to be tough to take down the crabs. Questing Knights definitely would be a little bit stronger here, but again, everyone's still learning, so nobody knows like the true definition yet. So the Bretonnian force is going to be moving forward. The Grail Reliques here, and King Lewin probably going to be taking some cannonballs to the face. Although the I would say the Colossus should probably be shooting at the heavy cav. So anyways, the Knight Errants and the other heavy cav moving around the flank. Tokshin's getting ready to party. I don't know. It's going to be a hard one. It looks like the armies of... oh, man. Lewin takes a couple cannonballs right to the face right there. Thankfully, he does have self-healing, so he's going to be able to heal up. And some of the black spot. Oh, he does have zombie pirate gunnery mobs. The RORs, who do have anti-large armor-piercing halberds as well. So very, very cool stuff. But it looks like the Knights of Bretonnia may be going to be doing a frontline charge. That would actually be really, really cool and thematic. But it looks like they're going to be sweeping around the formation instead. But the crabs are there. The rotting Prometheans are watching him, so he needs to be careful of that. But he does have a lot of caps, so he could easily like slam in here, pull one around here. It's really going to be up to Tokshin's micro to potentially win this game here, because Lewin is taking a pounding. He needs to be a little bit more careful with Lewin, maybe run him up into the trees. But the heavy cav of Bretonnia are going to be sweeping up and around the formation. And Dov definitely has a very well thought out build. I mean, he has pretty good answers against most of these things, but it looks like Lewin's going to go in and start attacking in melee, which is a very bold strategy. I mean, Lewin is a much better melee combatant than Noctilus. He pops the Lion Shield and pretty much all of his buffs here, and Noctilus taking a bit of work. He does summon some zombies back here, and the crabs are also coming, so Lewin's probably going to want to retreat here in a moment. Tokshin's Peasant Bowmen are also a little bit far back, but yeah, here comes the front line. So King Lewin is still fighting. The Lamprey's Revenge getting in there. And wow, Lewin actually doing a ton of damage to those guys, so crazy stuff. Some of the Knights are fighting the crabs, but it looks like some of the Knight Errants are going to get in here and slam into the back of Count Noctilus. Could have gotten on those zombie pirate gunnery mobs there, but here in the back it looks like the crabs have been able to muck up some of the Knights, but a massive Bretonnian force coming around the back line here. And the Peasant Archers are now scooting forward, and they should easily take out the black spot, no problem. King Lewin, is he still fighting in here? It looks like he did bounce to attack some of these infantry here in the front, maybe just trying to get away from Noctilus and all those like big heavy-duty troops here. And yeah, I mean, there's halberds and all kinds of stuff mucking up the Bretonnian cab, but a massive charge coming in. So here comes the Bretonnian charge right into the black spot, but Dov was able to turn those guys around and brace, and they have charge defense. So beautiful micro by Dov plays. That was really, really nice there. The other Colossus in good shape, but the Peasant Archers have scooted forward. Good charge by Tokshin there. He's able to get a rear charge into the zombie deckhands, and if he can like just kind of grind down the front line and then swarm from there, he might be in pretty good shape. Those Krabby Patties are going to be really tough to take down though, for sure. Here the Bretonnian Knights swooping around the back yet again, and it looks like the peasants are just kind of swarming up on the guns, which isn't a bad situation at all. The men-at-arms in the front line are actually winning against these guys. And another rear charge coming in from the Bretonnian Knights, going to be lancing some of these zombies down. The Tokshin knows that he needs to start grinding out the front line and really doing, you know, getting those guys cleared up so that his reinforcing troops can get back here and start swarming. So, Knight Errants here are still fighting. King Lewin's in pretty good shape. Balance of power is in Dov Play's favor just a tiny bit. Not enough to kind of say the game's over, but he does have a slight advantage right now. The Colossus, of course, very strong. And it looks like a summon was dropped in the back line by Noctilus, so he's able to summon some zombies, and the Fellbat swoop back there. So Tokshin definitely needs to send some Knights or something back there to kind of defend those guys, because that is not a good situation at all. The crabs are going to be swarming in. It looks like some of the Knight Errants are going to be charging as well. The Lamprey's Revenge with their shotguns are able to shoot Lewin, and more zombies being summoned. This doesn't feel like a good situation for Bretonnia back here. The Invocation's going down, and you know, a lot of the troops, like their Peasant Archers, who would be able to kind of take down these Black Spot infantry here, are being mulched down, which is a little bit tricky. I definitely think Questing Knights would have been pretty useful here, but here you go. The Knights of the Realm are going to be fighting some of the crabs with peasants, but the Black Spot, Dov Place having very, very good micro here. He was able to kind of situate his Black Spot and just take that charge like an absolute boss, and yeah, just kind of gun down the Knights of the Realm here. So Dov Place coming ahead on the bounce power. King Lewin is putting up a good fight here in melee, but it looks like these Pirates with the crabs and the rotting Prometheans, I mean, he had a really good build. Count Noctilus and those guys, great against the cav. He has the crabs to stop the cav, and honestly, the Bretonnian infantry you don't have to pay too much respect to. He was able to shut down the back line with summons and Fellbat play. So, I mean, Dov Plays played a really good game. And Tokshin, obviously, is probably, I think, his first time playing multiplayer with this. So, he hasn't played yet. Dov, of course, has played quite a few games. So, Tokshin is still learning all the different things like that. Knight Errants here and Knights of the Realm fighting against some of the zombies who are crumbling. Some of the Peasant Archers are back online a little bit. King Lewin is working on some of these black spots down here. And unfortunately, the Colossus is still able to kind of just take free shots at him. And yeah, he's going to be taking a lot of damage from those shots. Also, there's some angry rotting Prometheans who are easily going to be clubbing some peasants. So here come the crab boys. Going to be dropping some pincers. Ooh, that is not fun for those peasants at all. Just getting massacred. But Lewin was able to take out the black spot, the Grail Relic, keeping things going. I mean, is there a chance? I don't think so, because the rotting Prometheans are just too healthy. The Grail Relic's keeping things fighting for quite some time here, but there's just too many vampires left. Backline, there are some peasant bowmen archers coming back in, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's too little too late. The Colossi are both being protected by crabs. They're just kind of picking apart King Lewin, and I think that might be the first game here. We'll have to see. The Zom Pirates, of course, holding valiantly here in the front line against the Hordes of Bretonnia, but the Colossus are just going to be far too much to take down. I mean, King Lewin, maybe if he and his kind of goon squad could take out this Colossus that's a little bit open and work down the crabs over here, maybe he could pull something out. He is getting pretty danger close to army losses, though. Some Knight Errants coming back here, some Peasant Archers coming back as well. The other Felbats actually chasing those Peasant Archers off the battlefield, which is a little bit tough. But Lewin, I mean, I think he's a good choice in this matchup. I think with the Lion's Shield and his mobility and his heavy armor piercing, but I think he took too much damage initially. He should have probably side-strafed a little bit to be a little bit more careful, and yeah. Anyways, Rotting Prometheans here, taking some damage, actually. The Bretonnians have a really good pocket of strength. Maybe they'll be able to drag down those crabs. Those damn Colossus are just so strong. I don't know how he's going to be able to take those down. He doesn't really have any, like, true Grail Knights or, you know who actually got a really big buff? Are Hippogriff Knights. Hippogriff Knights are just really, really strong now. Wraithstorm going down right here on the Damsel with Lord of Heavens from Count Noxilus. But the Rotting Prometheans actually get annihilated by King Lewin. So one of the more elite units of the Vampire Coast taken out here. And Lewin might be able to kill this Colossus? Oh my god, if Tokshin came back from this would be absolute insanity. So some of the Knights are coming in. Unfortunately, Lewin's actually wavering due to army losses. So yeah, that was actually almost a good comeback there. I mean, he probably wouldn't have been able to win the game, but I think he could have killed that Colossus if he didn't get slapped with army losses. Yeah. So that is going to be game one between Tokshin and Dovplays. Dovplays able to take it with Count Noxilus and the Colossus build against Bretonnia. Let's go ahead and update the scoreboard. So gold player, gold score. I actually found an app that can update the scoreboard like really quick and live and everything, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so well played to both players. Tokshin, of course, getting back into multiplayer after like a year-long break, he was saying. It's been a long time for him. So he's still learning everything, but again, Knights of the Realm, I think they could be okay. I think mixing in like 2 Questing Knights would be really good. Aside from that, the direction of his army was fine. I really think the Knights needed to do more work. I mean, you could even just spam Foot Squires and then get like 4 Questing Knights, and I think that would be pretty optimal for sure. Yeah, Questing Knights are really the way to go there. GG. Game 2. And let me go ahead and switch the map. And we're going to do... Let's do a bit of a map with some terrain blocking, I think would be good. Not the river. Is this one like a... Yeah, we can do the river. MX on. No, honestly, I think that Bretonnia can do it. I think that you just go very wide with infantry, just spam like Foot Squires and Men-at-Arms and things like that. Foot Squires will trade very effectively with Depth Guard, and on top of that, you just get like 6 Peasant Bowmen, you get Men-at-Arms to protect them, you get Polearm Halberds. If you had Men-at-Arms with Polearms, he would have killed those crabs and been able to advance on the Colossi. I think there was just some things in the build that were a little bit suboptimal, but of course, everyone's learning, right? So, yeah. Tokshin's ready. He already has an army picked out and everything. I think Questing Knights are a really good choice there, yeah. I think just go super wide, spam Polearms, Men-at-Arms, get like arrows to kill their guns, and then just freaking defend your archers and Questing Knight them down. So Tokshin here is going to be playing the Vampires on the river. I think this is a good map. I'm going to get some water real quick, actually. One second, my friends. Phone ring. Had to give Anna her phone. I think Leviathans are okay. I actually like Leviathan as a pick against like Bretonnia or something. So yeah, here we have a little bit more line of sight terrain, which is going to be fun. Check it out, guys. So Dovplays is going to be playing the Empire, and it looks like he's going to be taking a little bit of influence Tokshin lost the last fight. Dog Plays was playing the Vampire Coast. So, yes. So here we go. Front line for Dog Plays is going to be swordsmen and spears, which is pretty good. Honestly, you don't need much else to deal with the Vampire's front line. Unless Tokshin does go very heavy with like Depth Guard and things like that, which would be pretty interesting. And we are seeing the classic build, the Great Cannons with the Firecaster. So it looks like he's taken a little bit of inspiration from Aerocrastic. You're going to be pretty good against anything large. And thank you for the donation, Shardin. Team Tokshin comeback. Am I still here?
Yeah, boy.
Am I on the camera? No, I'm good. We're good. Yeah, so thank you so much for the donation. So apparently Team Tokshin comeback is a thing. So that is going to be the 10 euros. Really appreciate the support, man. Helps me out quite a bit. So he does have Karl Franz, the Emperor of Mankind, is going to be here on horseback. He does have really good combat stats. He has Galmaraz and Reichland Runefang, so you can definitely lay a bit of a paddling on some of the higher value targets. We have a Great Cannon over here. We have a Flamecaster with the Fireball, Cascading Firecloak, and Burning Skull. And it looks like he's going to be splitting up his cannons all over the map. So one Great Cannon here, and one on the far side. And of course, Vampire Coast is very slow. So I think that Dog Plays is doing this to make sure that, like, if he does lose the front line, he's not going to lose all of his Great Cannons. Crossbowmen as well, very good against like handgunners and things like that, or not handgunners, but the gunnery mobs. Scurvy Dogs from Tokshin, going to be really, really good here against these Great Cannons. I don't think Dog Plays was thinking of that, so that is a really, really good pick here from Tokshin. I love that. That's very, very solid. Zom Pirates, he's got deckhands in the front line. In the secondary line, going with a ton of Syrenes. So if Flaming Sword isn't on point, these guys could cause a lot of mischief for sure. This is a very spooky formation, so I love this from Tokshin. This is so cool. We have Saloistra Direfin. We have a Vampire Fleet Captain with the Lore of Vampires. So with Saloistra, he brought 2 spells from each one, so he's going to be mixing it up a little bit. So he does have a Vampire Caster for healing. Saloistra Direfin on her Giant Crab, and he does have plenty of forest to hide in, right? So if you want to just sit in the forest, I think that would be a good idea. Deck Gunners, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm giving them to the go-ahead to start, but yeah, wow. What a cool build from Tokshin, just going with Syrenes. That's one thing I think in all of the early access content we've done, we haven't really seen. So this is incredibly cool here from Tokshin. And the battle's underway. So the Empire force is probably going to be moving forward. Tokshin, of course, wants to advance. And the Scurvy Dogs have a freebie here. Oh, Tokshin probably has a full chub right now. These Scurvy Dogs are going to get like 800 gold for free. Over here on the far side, they might get the exact same thing. Tokshin needs to capitalize on that. If he kills these Great Cannons really quick with the dogs, and oh man, Dog Plays making a huge mistake not protecting the cannons, underestimating that the Vampire Coast does actually have some mobility. So the Scurvy Dogs are just going to feast on these cannon crews, which is going to be brutal. So Tokshin, with a really, really good initial engagement here, potentially going to set him ahead in the game. So maybe if he can get into the mind of Dov and kind of tilt him a little bit, maybe he'll be able to kind of pull something out. Who knows? But the forces of Dog Plays are going to be advancing through the forest. Oh, and he's going to lose the other Great Cannon to the Scurvy Dogs. Nobody expected the Scurvy Dog play. Nobody expected it. They're just like, oh, the Vampire Coast just sits and turtles, and no, they do have direwolves or Scurvy Dogs and fellbats and things like that. So what a brutal start here for Dog Plays, taking massive, massive losses. Oh, and the damn Knight Errants are going to be charging through the forest. Check it out. So Loistra Direfin coming in, going to be running down some of these swordsmen. Oh man, Tokshin's build, which is so cool right now, and they're able to get some of those swordsmen with the spearmen there. Not going to do the most damage, obviously, but it is going to kind of trap them up and let some of the other troops advance. Sirens are going in first. They are hunting. Oh no, and Dov is going to lose the 3rd Great Cannon. He's going to lose the 3rd Great Cannon. And it looks like he's going to try and get the crew away, but Dov is just totally out of position this game. And the Scurvy Dogs are coming through the forest here. They're swooping into the back. They're going to get all over these crossbowmen. Just an absolute disaster right now. Just everything is falling apart for the Empire. The Scurvy Dogs are just getting in that booty. All 3 Great Cannons shut down. And Dov is scrambling to try and reform his ranks. The Sirens are getting into the back line. They're going to start causing terror and prison shanking some of these bowmen. And I really think this game is probably already over, maybe? Because Saloistra Direfin, the cannons need to kill her. Now there's nothing left to kill Saloistra. She's just going to come in on that Rotting Leviathan and the Vampire Caster on his Promethean. And yeah, this is just an absolute disaster for the Empire. I feel like this is like, oh man, might qualify one of the greatest military blunders here, but the Scurvy Dogs in the back line, killing crossbowmen. I mean, the state troops are going to be advancing. Dog Plays formation just falling apart. Tokshin threads the needle with those Knight Errants and gets into the back line, and they're just going to get all up in the cookie jar. And who said that the Vampire Coast didn't have mobility? I did, but apparently I was wrong. So anyways, there's going to be a Vortex ability, or not Vortex, but something going down to the back. And he is summoning his 2nd group, or actually the Rotting Prometheans. So the Crabs are going to be kind of laying a pounding on the Sigmar Sons here. The Banshees fighting swordsmen. The Empire state troops are just rushing in to help. Karl Franz needs to probably try and take out Saloistra, but she's just going to give the business to these guys. I mean, the Leviathans don't hit terribly hard like Giants or anything like that, but they are very, very tanky, so I don't know what's going to be able to take these down. So Lord of the Deep is able to summon some of the Rotting Prometheans here, which is quite cool. And yeah, the back line is just the disaster. I mean, there's just crossbowmen running every which direction. The Empire is just in shambles. Karl Franz is trying to fight Banshees, which isn't necessarily the best target because they do have decent AP. And they also have a unique debuff that's only for them. I think it's called the Charmed. Yeah, so it lowers melee attack, which is pretty good here. But the state troops are putting up an okay fight. Great Swords in the front line doing okay. Looks like a flame attack going down as well. Good. Dov finally gets a really good retort. So that Burning Skull is just going to be roasting these zombies for Sigmar, doing a ton of damage. So maybe that can pull it back, but I don't know. It looks like Dov is just so tattered. He does get one of his great cannons back. So the crew is back online. They're probably going to start shooting at Saloistra, but the positioning on the cannon, I probably would have just set up my entire army right here and forced the coast to come to me, but yeah, this situation is looking very, very grim. Saloistra Direfin able to push it into the back line, and the Vampire Caster able to get back there as well. Just absolutely... Oh! Here we go. He has an Empire guy in his hand. Oh, and he got 8. That was... I wanted to catch that animation for so long. So the crab picked up an Empire Soldier and ate him, which is hilarious. Karl Franz getting in there with all of his buffs, but I mean, in this situation, he's fully surrounded. The Great Swords are just, you know, taking damage from the Sirens, and just, you know, they have good AP. They're not going to last forever, and I think it's only a matter of time before the Empire crumbles here. I mean, they've just lost too much. The Prometheans over here doing a pretty good job. Tokshin does have some halberds as well as zombie pirates, and he does have his deck gunners, who unfortunately are obstructed because he's probably trying to shoot Karl Franz, but yeah. If he could, like, reposition those guys, like, over here and start getting some good shots. Another Burning Skull going down, which does, ooh, huge damage against the Sirens and the zombies. I mean, if Dov can pull this back, that would be absolutely legendary. But anyways, Karl Franz is starting to get crab slapped right here. Saloistra Direfin is dropping that thick mass on Karl Franz here as he does retreat. Just crazy play. I can't believe that Tokshin, the scurvy dog play this game, able to just do so much work. That was just absolute insanity. And now you can see here that the deck gunners are back online. They're just going to start wailing on the great swords and the heavy infantry, and looks like Tokshin is going to be rotating out here, take on the swordsmen and the spearmen and some of these other troops. Just what a comeback. It isn't over till the fat lady sings. Well, the fat lady definitely dropping some thunder. Look at her. And Tokshin using the Knight to the Past and just like the deep spells, the Prometheans. That was such cool play, seeing a really, really good kind of a Saloistra Direfin replay there. But anyways, the cannons from the Empire are shooting from the trees, but it looks like some zombie pirate deckhand mobs are able to work their way over there. Some summon ones, because Tokshin did bring a Vampire Caster as well. So he was able to summon zombie pirate deckhand mobs, and they're going to be attacking this this Empire cannon right here, which should be pretty good, and that thing's offline. And I think from there, Dov Plays is probably going to get slapped with army losses. He does have Karl Franz as well as a Bright Wizard left. But yeah, and the deck gunners are still in perfect shape. They're just teeing off into the forest. A little bit obstructed. Obviously, Tokshin is focusing elsewhere with his Saloistra and things like that, but he should spread them out a little bit. But yeah, over here, Saloistra Direfin going to be dropping some fat, angry crab beatdowns here. And it's funny because before the game, a lot of you guys were asking, like, you're like, oh, how are Leviathans? But you get a chance to see one now. They're very tanky. So check this out. Ghost of the Past has 2 charges. You can actually summon 2 groups of the Damned Knight Errants. So here comes the second group. Let's go ahead and see where Tokshin's going to go with these bad boys. I wonder if he's going to, like, he's probably going to ride around and go after some of the crossbows and things like that. So the Knight Errants, they have the exact same stat line. They do magic damage, and they also cause fear and terror, which makes them pretty useful. They have lance formation as well, so you can put them in lance and get in there and do some work. So, man, that was a disastrous initial battle for Dov. Like, having those scurvy dogs just feast on the cannons, oh, that was crazy. Anyways, the damned Knight Errant's going to be swooping in, probably going after the crossbowmen. Dov Plays does have Karl Franz making a last stand in the forest after that initial disaster there. Saloistra's in pretty good shape. He's going to be marching back in. She does, of course, have a Vampire Caster with Invocation of Nehek to top her off. Yeah, I'm kind of curious where he's going to go with these Knight Errants. There are some... Oh, looks like he's going to be threading the needle, trying to get onto these crossbowmen. So here they come, charging through the forest. So, of course, Cav aren't the best in the forest environment, but yeah, they still should be able to cause some terror and maybe trigger like a mass rout or something. Saloistra and company moving in. The Vampire Caster, the Vampire Fleet Captain, Blower Vampires pushing in as well. Probably has a couple more summons. The Sirens, it's pretty crazy. You never see those. You never see those. I'm not sure if the Banshee got any buffs or updates or anything like that, to answer your question. Saloistra Direfin using the Arcane Conduit. Going to be buffing her magic reserves. Might have enough for like some smaller spells, but she's going to be going after Karl right now. She has the Damned Knight Errants who are going to be supporting her, and it looks like she drops the Song of Enthrallment, which is going to be lowering melee attack and speed of all nearby troops, which is quite powerful. And it looks like the Vampire Coast is going to be piling in. For the fleet captains and just the shambling hordes are going to be moving in on the Emperor, and it's only a matter of time until army losses. I don't think that there's any chance for the Empire right now. There's just too many troops left for the Vampire Coast. The Sirens are somewhat healthy. Saloistra is very, very powerful. Although you never know. You never know, my friends. You never know.
A good old
Here you go. Saloistra Direfin chasing off the archers here. The crossbowmen are going to be running. I mean, if Karl Franz could kill Saloistra, there could be an avenue of comeback. Granted, there still is indications of a heck on this vampire caster, so there's a lot that could be going down. Oh man, Saloistra is getting in there, but Karl Franz, of course, does have that really, really good AP. Tokshin, it looks like he's trying to snipe out the caster. And the deck gunners, where are they? Oh, they're actually being chased down by spearmen, so Tokshin needs to get these guys a little bit more optimal. He could easily be picking apart all these troops in the open field if he was doing that, but again, I think he just has such a hard-on to kill Karl Franz here in the forest. So the zombie pirate deckhand mobs are going to be advancing on the crossbowmen of the Empire. Here they come, shambling through the forest, going after these troops. It looks like there's also a siren back there, and oh man, that siren just got slapped in the face by that state troop right there. Anyway, Saloistra's going to be going after the crossbowmen. Tokshin probably realizing that if he can't catch a lot of those more, like, you know, elite troops like Karl and the caster, just kill the other troops and hit them with army losses, right? That's going to be the better way to go. The deck gunner's actually getting chased down by spearmen. This is huge. If these two deck gunners, which actually count for quite a bit, go down, like, the bounce power could go back up to here and maybe allow Dov to get back in the game. So, yeah, I don't know. Hard to say. Saloistra is actually getting beaten up. Dov is just scrapping tooth and nail to try and get back in this game. And if he's able to get those deck gunners, Tokshin needs to split those guys up. He needs to run one this way, and whichever one he's chasing, just shoot it with the other one. But zombies are very slow. Deck gunners have 23 speed, so they are just snail's pace. But it looks like he's going to be turning about face, which is good. Deck gunners, he probably has them on skirmish mode, which is a classic mistake, for sure. It's a little bit better to manually micro such units, but are they going to start shooting? Yeah, they're going to start wasting those spearmen, for sure. They do pretty well against infantry in general, but over here in the main battlefield, Dogplace actually has a lot of stuff. It looks like he's getting back in it a little bit, but yeah, Saloistra, I don't know how he's going to be able to kill Saloistra. All these sirens and this Banshee caster. This is just an insane game right here. I cannot believe that Dov, after that horrible initial engagement where he lost like everything, but he's able to get the deck gunners with some spearmen. And if these deck gunners can like get both of them, but yeah, that firepower coming into the back here is actually absolutely going to shatter those guys down. Like, these deck gunners hit very hard. They have 50 weapon strength, give or take a pop. They do have shield breaker as well, so shielded units don't really matter. They can break through shields so easy, but yeah, awesome play here. Tokshin's able to stabilize that. Saloistra Direfin pulling out of the forest. Dogplace is going to be recuperating a little bit. If he had like Earthblood or things like that, I think he might be able to get something going. But Arcane Conduit coming down. Deck gunners are going to be taking pot shots now, so he does have that firepower, right? So he can start dropping, and the shields don't matter. They have the shield breaker, so it pretty much mitigates most of the effectiveness of the shield here. Yeah. Oh man, zombie pirates are pulling back. It looks like they're trying to get into the forest here. He's just going to be using his powder weapons, forcing the Empire to advance on him, so they can't really turtle in the forest. I mean, Dov could wait it out, but there's so much ammunition, and I think if he takes any more shots on anything of value, he's probably going to get smacked with army losses. So I think what is happening right now is Tokshin is trying to fall back. He's trying to use his Vampire Fleet Captain to get like a big invocation of Nehek, perhaps. I think he's saving up for that, but deck gunners are shooting here. Looks like there are some halberds left. Zombie pirate deckhand mobs. And yeah. Deck gunners are a really cool unit for sure. They're kind of like Ushopti Great Bows, much squishier and less mobile, of course, but they definitely fill a pretty cool niche here for the coast. So Tokshin's falling back. He's going to be trying to defend his deck gunners with the sirens, which is a pretty good choice. Those things are like, you know, kind of his bread and butter right now. And Dov is kind of like has a lot actually. Even after like losing 3 great cannons immediately to scurvy dog flanks and vanguard deployments, he might be able to pull something back. Thank you for the kind words. Right back at you, Spaghetti. And the zombie pirate deckhand mobs. They're trying their best to hold here. They got 62. The sirens are going to be tough because there's probably not too much magic damage left. Although, if this Flamecaster has enough for like a Burning Skull, he doesn't have Flaming Sword of Ruin, which I think would have been pretty good in this matchup. But anyways, the sirens are going to be fighting the state troops. This is it. This is the final fight for the fate of this battlefield here. You can see Saloistra Direfin just pimp slapping those state troops with their crab claws. Just absolute insanity. Oh, a huge Burning Skull going right down the formation, roasting those guys. So Dov did have enough there, and it's able to kind of break the leadership of the sirens. And Karl Franz is swooping in as well. Deck gunners in the back are taking shots, but this is a really tense battle. Even though the bounce of power is so heavily in the favor of the Vampire Coast, Karl Franz might be able to slip something back. But Saloistra, of course, has good AP herself because she is riding a Leviathan. And yeah, that's going to be it. Karl Franz and the Empire troops are going to break against the Banshees and the Ethereal units and Saloistra, as well as a Promethean Crab. So beautiful play. Sigmar's Sons, of course, still fighting to the bitter end. There are 4 models there, so he does have to clean those guys up. But what a game. What a game. That was absolute insanity. So, I did miss a donation. Casper, thank you for the donation. Really, that is a big one, so thank you so much. I don't know what the currency exchange is, but that looks awesome. I like the 2 zeros there. In honor of Scurvy Dogs, the true MVPs of the Vampire Coast. Team Tokshin comeback is a thing. He might come back, guys. We now have Game 3 in the series. No, army losses has been, if I'm not mistaken, army losses has been nerfed pretty heavily. So you don't get to army losses as quick now, which I actually like quite a bit. I think that's a really nice change. Creative Assembly definitely taking some feedback and doing good. So Tokshin tying that bad boy up. 1-1 here between Dob Plays and Tokshin. And let me go ahead and pick the map for game 3. Let's do something. We can do Troll Country. Troll Country is a good map. Yeah.
Give your meat a good old rub.
Jardin says, the hype is real. Team Tokshin comeback. Another 10. Thank you, man, for the donation. Appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the multiplayer content. And we do have 1,600 people right in here. I think this might be a record. And also Lewis on PayPal dropping a donation as well. So Lewis, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. I just saw that one coming through on PayPal. Those ones are a little bit delayed sometimes. So yeah, let's kind of take heed of the stream here. So we will be on the Troll Country, which is a small map. We got 346 likes, and we have over 1,600 people here. So if we could get that up a little bit, again, guys, it does help. I do this for a living, and if you guys like the videos more, it shows it to other people and helps the community grow, which then helps me do this for a living. So if you guys could just click that like button real quick, definitely helps out quite a bit in the downtime here. Do it for the scurvy dogs, says Lady Turin, lurking in the back. Who's hanging out, overwatching the stream. Yeah, he did forget about the hounds, that's for sure. Yeah, but yeah. Smash that like button. It means a lot, guys. Won't take too long. We have 1,600 people. We should be able to get up to 1,000 for sure. We should be able to. This is a record stream, actually. This is, aside from the Everchosen Invitational, which had like 1,900, this is a record stream here. So, yeah. Here we go. Lizardmen versus vampire counts. Who let the dogs out? Like. That's pretty funny. Come on, guys. Get it in there. Just stick it in there. Give it to the business. I don't want you to use just the tip. I want the full shaft going in there and smashing that like button. If you need a more literal analogy, let me know. But I think that one should be pretty good. Get a job, says Alejandro. This is my job, Alejandro. Entertaining you. No, I love this, though. Seriously, it doesn't even feel like a job. It's just, it's so awesome. Thank you guys all for your support. All right. Start when ready. Man, this is... So Dov is probably going to be bringing a new Vampire Lord. I don't know which one he's going to bring. I'm pretty excited to see this. This is a small map, so this is going to be a fast and bloody battle. And yeah, a record stream to see Dov and his cannons go down. Oh. Oh, man. Gorse vs. Grimgore stream. All right, guys, here we go. We're on the Troll Country. In this game 3, oh, it's so nice not having to use the army blocker. This new Spectator mode is so awesome. It's so useful. And we're going to be... So I have these flash tournaments every Sunday. It's going to make things so much easier to kind of control. Do I have a least favorite map? Probably Glacial Lake, because like of that little hill people can camp on in the corner. It like triggers me so badly. Oh, a Mortis Engine, and it looks like the Von Karstein Vampire Lord. Okay, so anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the vampires. Josh Shackford, take my deployment money. I'll just spend it on beer and smokes anyways. Keep making the good content. Hey man, I'll keep you entertained on deployment. Until my hand falls off, I shall do it. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate the donation. Sora Spears in the front line, a pretty good choice here from Tokshin. Good answer against Cryptors, Terrorgeists, anything large, really. So, I mean, and they'll smash most zombie infantry in general, right? So I think that's a pretty good choice. He does have some Feral Dinosaurs, so Feral Basilodons, 2 of them. He does have a Skink Priest with Lore of Heavens on an Ancient Stegodon, which is going to be a world beater in here. And it doesn't look like Dov brought any, like, Terrorgeists. No, he's trying something a little bit different, so I think he's going to have problems killing, like, the big heavy dinos. So I think that Tokshin's definitely onto something. He has Blood Knights, but again, Sora Spears everywhere. In the back here, he does have Krokar on his mount. Anti-large armor piercing, a beautiful pick. He does have some more Sora Spears, and he has a pretty big Air Force. Man, Tokshin's build is solid. He has an answer for everything. Pterodon Riders are going to massacre that Mortis Engine. So he has 3 of those to take out Mortis Engines, other Corpse Guard type units, and yeah, this is going to be really scary for Dov, I think. Tokshin has a solid Dino army. And on top of that, here in the front line, we got zombies across the board, Skeleton Spearmen. Again, not bad against dinos. Mortis Engine's going to be doing most of the heavy lifting, so Dov needs to find a way to protect this Mortis Engine from the Pterodon Riders, and I do not think he has one. So the Mortis Engine's pretty much going to be forfeit. Tokshin targets that, I think he's going to be in a really dominant position because he could snipe the Mortis Engine, and then from there he can simply snipe the Corpse Card and be in really good shape. In the back for Dov, though, he does have Blood Knights. If the Blood Knights are able to get good rear charges and pin the dinosaurs, they can easily take him out. He does have a Necromancer for a mana battery, and he has a new Lord. So a Banshee here, solid armor piercing, not a bad choice, and the Von Karstein Vampire Lord, who looks very, very cool. And look at his mount. His mount's even like heavily armored. So the Von Karstein Vampire Lord, his unique ability is the Storm of Night, which is a vortex. It's same as like Tempest from the High Elves, except it actually hits pretty much everything, right? It can hit ground units, it damages ground units, it hits flying units. It's a really powerful ability, and it's free. He does have the Vargulf Summon, Invocation of Nehek, and the Von Hells, and that is it. So, man. So, let's see what these guys do. Yeah, Tokshen, before the stream today, I was talking to Tokshen. He's like, man, what a way to get back into multiplayer by jumping into a tournament in front of your whole channel. And he's performing, getting his bearings back. Dov plays. That Von Karstein Lord, definitely very strong, but it's going to be tough. The Blood Knight play for Dov is going to have to be very optimal, and the Pterodon Riders need to go after the Mortis Engine. Like, that has to happen. This Mortis Engine could solo a lot of these infantry. So it really is going to come down to, can he get that Mortis Engine? And here come the Pterodon Riders swooping in from deep Vanguard, going to be going after the Claw of Nagash here, which is going to be pretty cool. You realize turn... Yeah, oh, okay, sorry. I thought that was a question, but it was more of a statement. Anyways, Claw of Nagash here is going to be advancing. It looks like Tokshen is going to be reorganizing his forces, which I think is a good choice. Like, squaring up to make sure you have a square kind of engagement here on this entire army. But anyways, the forces of the zombies and the spears and all these guys are going to be advancing, going after these sweet Saurus. But yeah, this is a heavy dino army. And as far as Cold Bloods, he does have 2 Cold Bloods. So he could get rid of Rampages on the Feral Bastillodons, which could be useful potentially. And now the Pterodon Rider's going after the Mortis Engine. So Tokshen definitely knows his business here. This is basically a free kill. Dov plays, if I were Dov, I would probably send in the Mortis Engine right now, just like super aggressively into the spears and some of these other units, and then just use Invocations of Nehek to try and extend its life. I think pulling it back like this is a bit of a mistake. Yeah, because like, just get it in there, get some value from it, because right now you're going to get no value whatsoever, which is going to be a little bit tough. So, and Rob, thank you for the donation, the big 40. Thank you for all the videos and streams. You are welcome, my dude. You are welcome. All right. Well, cheers, man. We'll put on a good show for you. But anyway, zombies and everyone are engaging in the front line. The feral dinosaurs are going to make quick work of zombies for sure. Saur Spear is quite durable as well, so looking forward to seeing those bad boys. And it looks like the Von Karstein Vortex going down here. I think he was trying to hit the Skink Priest. Now, it's better used against Lords for alpha striking. It does do some decent AoE damage to the Storm of Night, but I don't think that was the best application of it. Dov Plays is going to be charging in with Blood Knights on the Feral Bastillodon. This is quite a good engagement. The Knights of Red Keep are going to be able to do a ton of work against this heavily armored dinosaur here. You can see it's losing HP rather rapidly, which is tough. Also on top of that, Krokar does get in the back line. He gets compromised by the Von Karstein Vampire Lord, who does use the Sword of Anti-Heroes and the Charm Shield. So Tokshen a little bit out of position. Could potentially cost him the game here. In the back, he does summon a Vargulf. So the Von Karstein Vampire Lord summons a fat, angry Vargulf who's going to be fighting the Skink Priest. And yeah, he needs to get Krokar out of there. If he can get Krokar away, I think he should be fine. And that was good. That was something that could have lost him the game if Krokar went down. So the dinosaurs in the front line just ramshackling these undead. Just having a field day. Just the Bastillodons just teabagging these zombies, doing a great job. And it looks like the Skink Priest with Lord of Heavens is going to be charging in as well. And the Summon Vargulf, that's so cool that they can do that. It's going to be charging in as well. Tokshen does have the Pterodon Riders slowly picking apart the Mortis Engine, which I think is going to be really good for him. And Dov is leaving his Blood Knights in the front line for far too long. They're fighting spears, they're taking casualties. Those bad boys need to be pulled up, they need to go around, they need to be rear charging, applying pressure in the back line, not fighting in the front line like that. I think that's going to be something that's going to be rough for him. A Rev Crystal going down on the Feral Bastillodon right here. It is rampaging, but it's probably not worth the cold blood in my opinion. And I don't know if Dov has enough stopping power to kill all these like heavy dinosaurs here. The Pterodon Riders annihilating that Mortis Engine, Curse of the Midnight Wind going down as well. Invocation of Nehek responding, which will keep it alive for a little bit longer. The Feral Bastillodon does break and kind of rout off here, but they only cost 650. Those things are dirt cheap. Krokar is going to be fighting the summoned Vargulf, which is a good choice. Banshee also going after Krokar, which is a little bit scary, and the Blood Knights piling in. So Dov does get a good engagement with the Blood Knights, but that is a lot of heavy armor right there, boys. And Krokar is doing a great job. It looks like a Spirit Leech. Oh no, Storm of the Night. So Storm of the Night from Von Karstein going down, which is going to do slow and damage. Definitely wearing down Krokar. We got a pretty close battle on our hands. We got a close battle. Man, Tokshen really needs to focus down that Mortis Engine. It's starting to generate too much value. It's been alive for far too long. If there's anything you can send at it, just grab a Bastillodon, grab anything you can to just ram this thing and finish it off. He really needs to make sure that thing dies. The Blood Knights here also have a decent little surround. Dov Plays is pulling back the Blood Knights, doing a good job. And he does also have the Corpse Cart with the Unholy Lodestone buffing their combat stats. And I don't know, there's not too many Saurus Spears. He needs to kind of fight on top of those things. And it looks like the summoned Vargulf is now going to be disappearing. It obviously is a summon unit, so it's not going to last forever. And it looks like the Mortis engine is now dead. Yeah, it's gone. So the Pterodon Riders can now start shooting, probably just go after the Corpse Guard to the Blood Knights, or just rear charge. Get them in rear charge skeletons and just break the leadership and crumble things. I think that's another avenue of success here. But the Skink Priest with Lore of Heavens has taken way too much damage from the Blood Knights and the Von Karstein Lord with these sort of anti-heroes, giving him weapon damage and just all kinds of good stats right there. And yeah, he's going to have to pull back right now. And he does have Cold-Blooded, which gives him leadership. It does not heal anymore, so he's just trying to stabilize. The Blood Knights have one full unit that's pretty healthy, 33. The other one actually has 35. So, man, that's actually still a lot of Blood Knights to deal with. So, it's a really close game. It looks like Dob is actually pulling ahead. So, finally, his Blood Knights are starting to generate that value. It's really nice to actually see them do a good job because they are very expensive. Curse of the Midnight Wind going down right here on top of these guys. Tokshen and Krokgar are doing everything they can. Krokgar, of course, does have anti-large and is pretty good against Blood Knights themselves. Pterodon Riders trying to pick those guys apart, but the bounce power is in the favor of Dob plays right now. And yeah, the Skink Priest with Lore of Heavens is in okay shape. Bastillodons are here. This is a really, really good fight, actually. If he had been able to do a little bit more work against the Blood Knights earlier on, I think... Oh, but the bounce power is creeping back towards the middle a little bit, guys. Those Pterodon Riders are diving in melee, trying to protect the Rev Crystal. These Blood Knights are really beat up. The other ones are down to 24 models. Saurus Spears are actually fighting really hard here. There's a massive kind of onslaught of Saurus coming. A lot of the summon units for the vampire counts are dissipating. The Sternsmen are still here in really good shape, though. You look here. Sternsmen still fighting and holding off the Invocation of Nehek, which is very powerful because it's keeping those guys back. And the Storm of the Night going down from the Von Karstein Lord, doing pretty good damage against his whole blob of stuff. So that was a really, really good cast there from Dov. And Krokgar is fighting in the pits, but he is a little bit surrounded. Pterodon Riders here are out of ammo, so you might as well send those bad boys in to fight something. Dov does have a couple groups of zombies and spears over there to help out with, and it looks like Tokshen is able to actually snipe out the Corpse Card. Really, really good stuff. So that's going to be quite helpful, getting rid of some of the buffs and healing on the map. But the Skink Priest with Heavens, I mean, he needs to get away and maybe just form a new battle line, heal up, regroup a little bit, because he's just kind of being tar pitted by the zombies right here. So Krokgar is doing a good job. He's chipping up these Blood Knights. They do have Undeath Resurgent, but yeah, 18 and 15, that's still, almost a full group of Blood Knights when you combine the two of them. So he's trying his best, but Dov is doing a good job. I mean, he's using the Banshee to use its armor piercing to take out the big dinos. The Von Karstein Vampire Lord has had some beautiful AoE effects. And it looks like Dov is going to take the series 2-1, but regardless, very, very well played here to Tokshen. He's done a great job, in both these games. Of course, hasn't played multiplayer for 6 months to a year. We'll make sure to be bringing him back for future events and things like that if you would like to. So here we do have Krokgar is going to be turning, fighting the... Ooh, Krokgar just nibbling on that Von Karstein Lord, doing some work. Krokgar does have anti-large and better AP, so if he didn't get broken by army losses there, yeah, he still would have lost because there's too much undead. That's going to be it. Well played. Dob Plays is able to take the series 2-1 here. Oh my god, I'm not going to read that one. Thank you, Doug, for the donation. Oh my god. Dob paid earlier, yeah. He paid in the beginning of the stream.
Give your meat a good old rub.
Dob is cheating.
Nice.
And also, Jesse, thank you for the donation on PayPal. I do see that one coming through now, so thank you so much for that. Really, really appreciate it. Supporting the Total War multiplayer community. And Dob Plays is able to take that one using the new Von Karstein Vampire Lord. That was a great game for sure. So let's update the scoreboard here. Yeah, now it's going to be Dob Plays versus Lore Master of Sotek in the finals. In this showcase tournament, not the most competitive tournament. We're, of course, showing new units and having fun, but yeah. Yeah, let me adjust. Okay, there we go. That's good. So yeah, well played to both players. Let me go ahead and tell them that. Well played, guys. Great games. Solid stuff. Dov, stay. And Sotek in. All right, guys. We're here at the finals, which is going to feature a showdown between Dob Plays and the Lore Master of Sotek. So we're going to go ahead and pick a new map here. That was game 3. Yeah, that was game 3. Okay. Yeah, that'd be great, baby. The Scurvy Dog was crazy. Oh my god. The Scurvy Dog play was solid. So let me go ahead and do this. And it's so nice being able to control the lobby as a spectator now. So we shall fight on the... And Mr. Ridley, thank you for the donation. Loving your casting. And Luther, let's play. By the way, how does a Blood Dragon fare against Lokir? He would win. Blood Dragon Lord would beat up Lokir for sure, I think. Oh, Sotek coming in with the Dawi. So we're going to be playing on the... Let's play on the Iron Sand Desert. We haven't had a desert map yet. All right, guys. Now we'll just hang out and chat for a couple minutes. Turin, you keeping the stash for the No Shave November? I'll probably get rid of it in a couple days. Yeah, it just doesn't look good.
That's it.
Sotek versus Dov. We got some ever-chosen veterans here.
Yeah, boy.
I don't think Dov's playing Vampire Counts again. I think they're currently negotiating who they're going to be playing, so. That's right. Got to update the scoreboard. Thank you for the update there. Got to get the scores back to 0. 0 to hero. And Tokshan, red player name is going to be Master of Sotek. Good. So it looks like we have High Elves from Dot Plays. Lore Master of Sotek. It looks like he's going to be playing Dwarves. We're not sure. Maybe we're going to get some grudge matches here. Dranuel, I'd probably rather be a pirate. Yeah, never been a fan of like ninjas. No, today this is going to be the only stream. I'll probably be doing my Luther Let's Play tomorrow. Yeah. So I'm not sure. Is it Dwarves versus High Elves? It could be. Yeah, you like the mustache? All right. Hey, I'll keep it. I mean, maybe we'll put up a poll on the channel. How many Blood Knights? Those Blood Knights were absolute pimps last game. They did so much work. I really didn't think they would be able to grind down that armor, but they did. Like, those Blood Knights, so good and tasty. And, oh, Sotek. Look at what Sotek's playing. He's playing the Barrow Legion. So the Barrow Legion, great. He's getting to show you guys something new. So the Barrow Legion is a new sub-faction for Heinrich Kemmler. So it's Vampire Counts, but it's Heinrich Kemmler's faction. So Sotek, of course, loves his Heinrich Kemmler. My least favorite map's probably Glacial Lake because it's like really kind of encourages people to corner camp. Rat ninjas are fine. I have no gripe with rat ninjas. Yeah, thank you guys all so much for joining today. It's been quite a bit of fun. Thank you for the generous donations. We also have one from Aaron coming in here on PayPal, so thank you so much for that. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream, Aaron. The Barrow Legion. And this is a best of 5, so don't worry, guys. There's going to be Vampire Coast. There's going to be all kinds of stuff in this series here, so you're not. Sotek always puts on a good show. Krell's coming. Krell's coming for that booty, I would imagine. Start. When ready, we'll let him know. Yeah, the like Nagron maps are like by far the worst, though. Like the Dark Elf ones. Those ones are like terrible. Ugh. Oh. Krell. Chat's just going crazy for Krell. Oh my god. Yeah, so this is Spectator mode for anyone that's just joining. I have complete control. I can kick players, I can pick the maps, I can set the funds. It's so nice. It is so nice having this. You don't need sleep. Where do you live? Where do you live? Well, I mean, even if you're in Eastern Europe, I guess you could be in like Australia or somewhere else. I don't know what the difference would be, but in Europe, it's like, you know, in the UK, I think it's like 9 o'clock right now. And then in Eastern Europe, it's like 10, give or take. Your man Krell is coming. Sotek is playing the Heinrich Kemmler subfaction. This is the Barrow Legion, as they're called. They look really cool. Krell should be your girlfriend, Bubba Bricks. God. I don't know about that. Remember, if you haven't dropped a like on the stream, it is quite helpful. As always, if you're enjoying the content, let's see if we can get up to 1,000. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know if I've ever gotten 1,000 likes on a stream, so let's see if we can beat that. We do have 1,600 people here. So it is quite possible. Both players taking their time. Sotek will not be bringing... I mean, maybe Sotek could bring a new Bloodline Lord. Maybe it's not going to be Krell. It might not be Krell, actually, now that I think about it. It's Monday. Okay, okay. Yeah, Tokshan has really good micro, for sure. He's a super solid player. I mean, obviously he hasn't played multiplayer. That's the only thing that was really holding him back. I think if you trained him, he would be too strong for us to handle. Jello MC below. Where the hell is Krello? Thank you for the $5 donation. Oh, yeah, that's right. We just had like daylight savings and time shift and everything. So yeah, I got that all backwards. Thank you for the donation, man. And another one. All right, Jello MC below. Where the hell is Krello? You're from Croatia. Oh, that's cool. I'm always over in Poland, so not like super close, but you know, nearby.
Give your meat.
He better bring Krell. I feel like after all the hype that Krell is getting,
Hot and spicy.
give
meat.
Krell a riot.
Yeah, boy.
And it looks like both players are ready, and then I get to click the start button, which means they can't start until I'm ready. God, that's going to be so nice for like future ever chosens and tournaments.
Spicy meat.
Yeah, getting to see Saloistro Direfin crab slap Karl Franz was, and also like eat a couple state troops was pretty hilarious. So Krell or Servant on Death. Well, I mean, Sotek loves Heinrich Kemmler, and yeah, if you guys haven't seen his channel, make sure to check it out as well. Him and Dov. I mean, they both have great channels. Oh my god. Oh yeah, Heinrich Kemmler's here, boys. So check out how cool the Vargeist look. They have like the blue mohawks and then like the blue color scheme and all these guys. It looks really, really neat. So this is the Barrel Legion. It's the new sub-faction for the Vampire Counts. So as far as the army goes, we got Blood Knights, I think, no, Black Knights and Blood Knights. Only one Blood Knight, which is probably going to be contesting the open field, doing some rear charging, that kind of stuff, killing. Actually quite good against Star Dragons. If Star Dragons land, they get lanced and skewered by Blood Knights. Front line is going to be Zombies and Sternsmen, so Graveguard, Spearmen in the back line. Black Knights, he does have the Feasters in the Dusk. Some Vargeist as well. So Vargeist is a very interesting pick. I'm really excited to see if Sotek can make these things work. In the back, he does have a White King, so the White King, pretty decent against like casters. You can send them after like Techless type characters or High Mages, things like that. Going to be very good. Heinrich Kemmler, of course, does have Krell. Don't worry, Krell will be here. It's happening. And yeah, it's going to be good. So as far as the Heilf army goes, we do have a front line of Spearmen and White Lines, which is a pretty good mix. Spearmen can deal with Chaff, White Lines can deal with Graveguard. We have a Star Dragon. We do also have a Mage with High Magic, so he does have Tempest. So thankfully for the Lore Master, Tempest is really going to wreck those Vargeist, so that's going to be tough. Arcane and Forging, Apotheosis, Star Dragon, and guys, he has the new and improved Tyrion. Tyrion is now one of the best characters in the entire game for dueling. He is insane. So he has his stats aren't accurate right now. When the game starts, he gets like 12 and 2, so he's going to be like 72 and like 77 for his combat stats. And now Tyrion has massive armor piercing. It's like a whole different game for him. I played a couple games with him against Dov, and he is just the destroyer. He kills things so fast now. So Heinrich Kemmler better watch that booty for sure. But anyways, the game is underway here. A little bit of skirmishing going on from the Illyrian Reavers. And the Feasters in the Dusk are going to be running from the distance. They got quite a distance to cover, and there's no archers. So unfortunately, it's not really going to pay off. But the Black Coach is also coming in. Black Coaches are very good against High Elf Infantry. They cause terror. They have good AP against White Lines. And it looks like the Reavers might charge in from Dov. You better be careful. Those Blood Knights are coming for that. And anyways, the Vargeist might be able to attack the Star Dragon. I foresee them. They definitely don't want to do that. I think the Star Dragon will just annihilate them. On the far side, though, Dov does get caught. Some of his Reavers get hit by some of the Black Knights, as well as the White King. So those guys get an Apotheosis, and they're going to have to fall back. And the Vargeist are just patrolling right now. It looks like they're just kind of scouting about. Black Coach going in, but the one thing the Black Coach doesn't know is that Tyrion now hits like a truck against armor. So, Tyrion gets caught up in his own archers, or in his own White Lines there, which is going to be a little bit tricky. And why are the Reavers charging Blood Knights? Oh man, if those Blood Knights just turn around and fight the Reavers, even though they got caught, they'll be in really good shape. They'll kill them quickly. Feasters in the Dust coming from the distance, going to be approaching, and it looks like Black Knight's trying to look for a home, but I mean, these are High Elf Spearmen, right? That's not going to be a good charge. Yeah, this is a bit of a mistake if he does charge there. Hopefully he doesn't. Anyways, the Vargeists actually go after the caster, and they do distract the dragon a little bit, but they do lose 3 models in the process, and the Black Coach is just getting its salad tossed so hard by the Tyrion right here. So it looks like the White King is going to be rushing in, trying to kind of intercept. With the steel chair, saving the Black Coach, but I'm telling you, Tyrion is a monster. You need to be careful, and because he is just on the hunt. Just look at him just pushing through here. Anyways, the Black Knights for Sotek, a little bit sloppy there in the front, do engage. And the Vargeist in the back, pretty good choice against Reaver Archers, but the Star Dragon is able to shut those guys down. So far it's looking like a better game for Dov, I would say. Heinrich Kemmler does have his invocations and some other buffs he can drop. But looks like, Arcane and Forging going down. It's going to be a while before we see Krell most likely, so very, very good play from Dov so far. The Blood Knights are fighting against White Lines and Spearmen. I mean, Sotek needs to pull them out this way. A little bit of rough play here, losing these Blood Knights like that. In the meantime, the Feasters in the Dusk do get onto the Reaver Archers, so they come out of stock, and they're going to kill these guys pretty quick. I mean, they hit hard, they have poison, and yeah, that's a really good kind of sneaky play right there, catching those guys. And so far, the Vargeist taking quite a bit of work from the Star Dragon. The Black Coach is getting massacred by the Star Dragon as well, fully surrounded by the Reaver Archers. So Dov is just playing really, really well this game, and Sotek's obviously made a couple mistakes as well. Also, guys, Heinrich Kemmler has a horse now. So you can see Heinrich Kemmler does ride a horse, which is very cool. So he's not like a haggard foot caster anymore. He can now ride around and actually cause some battlefield disruption. But yeah, the Blood Knight and the Black Knights haven't done a whole lot. They've been able to get the high caster a little bit. You can see that this White King might be able to snipe it, but it's looking really tough. That Star Dragon's too healthy. The Blood Knights needed to be saved. Oh no, and Tyrion's coming for that ass right now. He's gonna just absolutely karate chop Heinrich Kemmler. This is gonna be a massacre. Tyrion's gonna give him the business for sure. So Heinrich Kemmler's running. He pops the Cloak of Mist and Shadows, but I mean, Tyrion is just gonna hunt him to the ends of the earth. And I really like seeing Tyrion as like a powerful... Ooh, and look at that breath attack from Dov. Plays roasting a massive part of that formation. Not like super big, but it did take out a lot of these Sternsmen and stuff there. But the Blood Knight should have been kept in the back to just deal with the Star Dragon and stuff. I think that he got a little bit yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just wasn't on this game. But hopefully we'll see him back in full performance here. But Krell is here. Krell does have Von Hels, and he's going to be fighting Tyrion, which is nice, a cool and thematic battle. He does have anti-large and armor piercing, and Tyrion's actually taking a little damage, but he has a lot of support nearby, so Krell is going to have to work pretty hard for that booty. As far as that, the Feasters in the Dusk are fighting infantry over here. The Vampire Counts do have some infantry, but they no longer have any stopping power to deal with the big dragon, so it's going to be really tricky. And Krell is doing his thing, you know, working on Tyrion, getting a little damage in, actually, which isn't bad, but you guys want just zoom in on Krell? Okay, we can do that for the rest of this battle. So Krell is dueling Tyrion. Looks like he just decided to whack one of his zombies for fun in that attack animation, which is hilarious. And he hits another zombie right there. So Krell, a little bit upset about the state of things, but he is getting some good damage, actually, on Tyrion. I mean, had he played a little bit safer with the Blood Knights, been more conservative with the Vargheists, and used them to just chase the skirmishers on the outside, I think that Sotek did have an army that could have won this battle, but just based on some of the initial engagements and that stuff, he unfortunately did lose the game. So that's just going to be game one to the glorious Dov plays. So he's going to go 1-0 in this, up 1-0 in this best of 5 series here. And yeah, that's going to be it. So the withdrawal here. Look at that, Krell. Yeah, Krell looks really cool. Krell was a Chad for sure, but everything else was going too poorly. Dov played really well that game. And Tyrion with 235 from the Sunfang, roasting the formation. So we didn't get to see that, but Tyrion is a competitive lord now. Like, he is really good. There's some matchups where he is just such a Chad. He just chases down his prey and just no escape. So Dov is going to go up 1-0 here. Let's go ahead and set that. And now we're into game 2. Well played to both players. Yeah, Tyrion should have had AP. That's the whole thing with him. So let's play the... I got to pick the map here. Play the Sword of Torgwald. That's actually a Bretonnian map, so this will be a good one. Start when ready. Hopefully someone picks Coast. I'll tell them to pick Coast if nobody does. I'll be like, come on, someone pick Vampire Coast for the last game. No, we can't do the golden map because like the Vampire Coast maps are like not meant for multiplayer. Blood Knights, if they were able to surround Tyrion, could do a lot of damage to him. And Krell actually got him down to like 60%, so there is ways to kill him for sure. I think Kolek still beats Tyrion. He has just higher weapon strength, more HP, and a bonus first large. Sotek won a pretty good game with the Lizardman earlier, actually, using Crocscore, so he's going to his favorite. Hopefully we get some Coast. Let's make sure to get Coast somewhere here. Next game. Alright, there we go. I let him know. Yeah, Tyrion is really good at like hunting down, like, against greenskins, like, what greenskin lord is going to survive Tyrion's wrath? Like, he's going to be like hunting them so hard. Krell is really good. Krell is solid. He causes terror. He has AP, anti-large. Okay. So Dov said he's going to play Vampire Coast next, so we are assured to get them. We are assured. And guys, I feel like we've been on quite a journey today. Big thanks to all of you guys for joining. I'm really making a conscious effort to take better care of my hands and wrists so I can stream more. So I'm going to be trying to stream like 3 or 4 times a week. Total war. The Blood Dragon Lord can defeat Kolek if he's on his dragon, but if he's on a horse or foot, he can't. The Blood Dragon Lord can beat Kolek, I'm pretty sure. You know, just an objective duel, because he gets the charge. Kolek doesn't get the charge if he has a dragon, so yeah, so it's pretty tough for sure. Grimgor, oh god, Grimgor. Yeah, we've had a lot of good battles. We got the glorious Tokshen here in chat, I think. I believe he said he was watching. Glad to see Krell as a horse, or Heinrich Kemmler as a horse. He's finally leveled up that skill, yeah. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, Tokshin did great. I can't wait to see him get. I have severe tendonitis in both hands, so I can only usually play 3 to 5 games a day before my hands give out. So that's his life, my friends. It's
Give you a
martyr
minute to
time.
get over
Have you got
that.
a favorite Coast Lord?
That's it.
I'm
Nice and hot.
Noctilus is my favorite for multiplayer, but I'm slowly starting to really
Yeah,
like
boy.
Luther Harkin because of the campaign. Yeah, so probably Noctilus and Luther. I'm not a big fan of Aranessa or the Direfin. Like, Direfin's funny. I mean, she's really fun to watch in multiplayer. Maybe she'll be good too, but I don't know. I really like Noctilus and Luther. Yeah, we'll stream some Magic. Team Tokshin did great. He was an absolute beast. His scurvy dog play was very outside of the box. In that last game with the Lizards, he had a good build. Like, he had answers for Mortis engines. It was just a couple things just went south, you know? Yeah. That Soloistra build was great. We haven't seen the Bloated Corpse on this stream yet. It's a risky pick. Tiamat64 says, are you hyped? Yes, I will be playing quite a bit of Warcraft 3 Reforged here on the channel, so you guys will be seeing that. That was my first RTS game I went crazy on. I mean, I played Red Alert, I played Warcraft 2, I did all that, but Warcraft 3 was like my true
Spicy meat.
kind of soul child.
boy.
Ready? Yeah, Magic's a little easier on my wrist for sure. Okay, yeah, I'll turn up the game audio a little bit when I jump in there. Yeah, the games we'll be playing on the channel. I mean, Warhammer will always be like 80-90% of the content, but I do Magic the Gathering. I will be doing Warcraft 3 Reforged, probably like 2 or 3 times a week. We'll put up a video for that. So RTS content, Magic, and also Warhammer 40k. When I can get Italian Spartacus to finally play with me, so if you guys could go tell Italian Spartacus in his videos, in his comments, just be like, play 40k with Turin, I will get a video up. I have a table. I built a custom game. I mean, me and my stepdad built a custom gaming table, a 4x6. It's made of corrugated. It is so cool. And we're going to be playing for. I have Terrain. I got sponsored by GameMat.eu. They sent Terrain. Like, I'm ready to party. I'm ready. Tyrion would probably beat the Blood Dragon Lord, I think. It's not carpal tunnel, really, Christian. It's tendonitis, which means I have damaged tendons. They're starting to degenerate because of overuse over the years. So it's my tendons. You can't have surgery. You can't fix tendonitis with surgery. I mean, there are some things that you can do, but it's really none of them. I've been seeing an orthopedic surgeon who's really good, and he's like surgery wouldn't help you. I mean, the only thing that would really help is if I took rest for a while. If I like rested for a while and didn't play for like 2 months. But I can't afford to do that because I love this, number one, and number two, it's my job. So, all right, guys, we are here with the Lizard Men, played by none other than the Lore Master of Sotek. And yeah, I can't really play World of Warcraft because it's too much clicking. I used to play. I was a gladiator. I was a gladiator ice mage, actually, back in the day. Anyways, Lord Mazdamundi is going to be the choice. He's going to be on Zlok. He does have Arcane and Forging. He does have Curse of the Midnight Wind, Apotheosis, and, of course, his bound abilities. He has a pet Sora Scar veteran who does have anti-large and AP. 2 groups of Temple Guard here for the anti-cav tools, which is going to be quite good. Skink Skirmishers, Skink Cohorts. So very cheap infantry in the front with a support line of Temple Guard. Cold Spear Riders as well, who did get a buff. They have much better stats now. Cold Spear Riders got buffed to their weapon strength, I think, but they also do Rampage, which sucks. So some give and take there, but you can Cold Blood them. On top of that, we got we got Lord Mazdamundi on his thick toilet seat and a Rev Crystal. So that's going to be pretty much it. I play Death Guard in 40k. Yeah. Okay, and as far as the forces of Dob plays, he does have the Prophetess with the Lore of Life, something you don't see terribly often. 2 groups of Royal Pegasus Knights, which have been changed. Royal Pegasus Knights and Royal Hippogriff Knights have all been buffed in the Curse of the Vampire Coast. Their pathing is much better, so they fly directly in on things instead of like circling awkwardly now. I mean, they still aren't perfect, but they're much, much better. So Zav with a massive air force. He does have Spearmen in the front line, a secondary line of Foot Squires against the Temple Guard, which is really good. Peasant mobs, Grau Relique, the Beast Slayers of Bastion here in the back, who are the Regiment of Renown of Foot Squires, anti-large, armor piercing, and yeah, that's pretty much it. He does have a Vanguard of Royal Pegasus Knights going down, which is going to be pretty cool, but this is going to be a rumble in the jungle. And honestly, I can't really make a prediction because I don't really know what to expect from these Hippogriff Knights. I mean, if they're able to surround Jabba, they will just toss his salad so badly, so. I don't know, give me a hand to the gods like Krokar. Alright, so anyways, the forces of Bretonnia are going to be moving forward. We do have Skink Skirmishers here. We're going to be doing a little bit of poking little bit of poking here on the Royal Hippogriff Knights. Actually, one of Sotek's best choices against those probably is the Skinks, to be honest. But again, he could use the Temple Guard and the Sort of Scarvets, and Kobold and Spear Riders will do a number on these guys. Granted, if Royal Hippogriff Knights and the Pegasus Knights are able to 2v1 the Spear Riders, they'll get killed in like 10 or 15 seconds. Like, it'll be a massacre. So Dov has a potential for some really, really cool engagement. Sword of Torgvald, of course, does have a little bit of a lip here, but neither factions are artillery factions, so it's not really going to be a huge deal here anyways. But in the front line, the Peasants charging in here against the Skink cohorts. We're probably going to see some Javelin play. I wonder if he's going to use them. Or if he's just going to charge him in melee. He's probably going to save the Javelins for late game, maybe, I'm thinking. Yeah. Oh, no, he's going for the Javelins. Here they go. They're squaring up, and they're going to throw some spears at these Peasants, which is always a good time. So the Peasants take the spears like champs. That's their job. That's probably the best case situation. I mean, better than the Foot Squires doing it. Jabba the Hutt just kind of sitting with his pet sort of Scar Veteran to guard him, who I think is on a... Oh, he's actually on foot. Okay. And the Rev Crystal here in the back. But this is a little bit scary. The Coldwind Riders need to scoot up a little bit and protect Jabba, because if he gets overextended, the Royal Hippogriff Knights could do a number on him. But so far, Sotek playing a much higher and tighter game than he did before. Jabba does get attacked by the Hippogriff Knights, and they can definitely do work, but there are some skinks there with Javelins. The Sara Scarvet's going to be charging in with his anti-large, and the Hippogriff Knights a little bit overextended, and the Cold One Riders are coming in. So if Dov doesn't disengage here, that could be pretty disastrous. In the meantime, Dov's sitting on the flanks with the Royal Pegasus Knights, just looking for targets. And the Cold One Knights should just pull back now. Sotek definitely needs to retreat with those guys. I mean, he does get a charge, but yeah, you can see he pulls back. He doesn't want to have a risk of them rampaging in the front line against like Beast Slayers and things like that. Pegasus Knights are taking some pot shots from the Skink Skirmishers over here. Looks like Dov is trying to like figure out where he wants to send those guys. A little bit indecisive there, but I'm sure he'll figure it out. The Royal Pegasus Knights on the other side, maybe going to be going after Skink Skirmishers. Here they come. I mean, they're meant against large targets, but they can still kill Skink Skirmishers. It should be a good matchup for them. So here they come, lancing into that Skink formation, doing pretty good shock damage. Should be able to actually break them pretty quick. Temple Guard and Skinks fighting in the front line against Foot Squires. Foot Squires putting a dent in the Temple Guard. But the Royal Hippogriff Knights looks like they might be coming out here. Oh, Jabba! You're in the wrong neighborhood, dude. And the Cold One Knights are all kind of bogged up here. So here's what happened. Dov sent in the Royal Pegasus Knights to kind of fight over here to pull away the Cold One Spear Riders to hopefully allow him to get a big engagement on Jabba. But Jabba is a thick boy. He's not squishy. He has really good armor. He has a good, decent melee defense, and he does have a Rev Crystal nearby. But a little bit scary, though. Jabba's actually getting worked on. Yeah, he's taking some work. Thankfully, he has a ton of HP, and you can see his Sora Scar Veteran is going to be pouring in to kind of rescue him. And the other Pegasus Knights are coming for him as well, and it looks like the Temple Guard are kind of buckling up a little bit, so Jabba charges into the front line. He switches places, sends the Temple Guard back, but the Pegasus Knights then swoop in. So Dov with the Flying Air Force play causing a lot of problems, and the Royal Hippogriff Knights are still in really good shape here. Like, they're in perfect health. And the Cold One Knights do wipe out the Pegasus Knights over here, but they need to get back up to the high ground. You can see here that Lore Master of Sotek does grab those guys. He needs them in the front line right now, or else this is going to be disastrous. Granted, there are Temple Guard mixed in. Temple Guard have really good AP, really good anti-large, pretty good tools against all these Pegasus Knights and some of these other elite troops. So the extra thick boy is fighting in the front line, doing well. Rev Crystal, Apotheosis going down, and the Cold One Knights with the countercharge coming into the back, going to trap in all these heavy Bretonnian flying units like the Hippogriff Knights. And suddenly I think that the Lizards aren't in a bad situation at all. I mean, Jabba does have quite a bit of healing. Coldblood doesn't heal anymore, so it's not what it was before. But the Bretonnians are buckling here pretty hard. Royal Hippogriff Knights, Pegasus Knights are all pretty much offline. He has won the battles on the flanks, so some Foot Squires are going to be pouring in. The Beast Slayers of Ashdone in a pretty happy position, right? If they can rampage these Cold One Riders, yeah, Sotek needs to pull out those Cold One Riders right now. If he leaves those guys fighting in there, they're going to rampage into Halberd. So there you go. Right as I say it, Sotek pulls those guys out. He's probably going to just be cycle charging and just cleaning up on the flanks, which is what I would do. Dov plays getting a good surround, though. He's got his spears, and Halberd's kind of coming to like pincer in and attack the dinosaurs. And it looks like Jabba is getting attacked by the Royal Hippogriff Knights again, and the Royal Pegasus Knights driving in. And he is going to potentially take a lot of damage if he stays here. I mean, a lot of his supporting elements are a little bit out of position. There are some Bretonnian infantry here, but ooh, Jabba's... He just took about 500 damage since last we looked. Apotheosis going down, which is, of course, going to help him quite a bit. But, yeah, this is a pretty scary fight. Very, very even. Over here on the far side, we have Skinks battling some of these spears who are just chasing around. But Foot Squires coming in, the Halberds coming in, and it looks like the Cold One Riders are going to get sandwiched by the Halberds and spears. And that's going to be tough for Sotek. I think Sotek's in a bit of a dangerous position, but granted, Sotek does have a slight advantage in regards to the balance of power here. He still has a Bastillodon, he does have Lord Mazda Mundi, and the Royal Hippogriff Knights are falling back right now. And thank you, my love. Anna just made me a glorious coffee, my lovely wife. Her YouTube channel is That Evil Hag, in case you guys are curious. Awesome stuff over there. Royal Hippogriff Knights here are going to be charging into the back, going after some of the Feral Cold Ones. So I didn't notice these Clever Girls, actually. So the Clever Girl is going to get taken out very quickly. Royal Pegasus Knights are down to 5 models of their 6. And the Temple Guard are holding pretty firm here. They're doing a darn good job. And of course, the thick boy, Jabba, like, oh, and a Ruination of Cities tearing into the Bretonnian formation, doing some good work against the polearms who are shaken. And it looks like the Lizards might be able to pull something out. Granted, there's still a lot of stopping power here. I think with the Royal Hippogriff Knights in general, I think that you really should bring Earthblood. Oh man, this is an intense one, boys. I need some coffee to keep up this energy. Anyways, Royal Hippogriff Knights have 5 models, Pegasus Knights have 9, and yeah, that is a thick Lizard pocket. There's Temple Guard everywhere. Temple Guard, of course, are much stronger than Foot Squires. I mean, even though they're a halberd unit. But he has a Scar Veteran. Mazdamundi still has probably, 4,000 HP. He was very, very heavy duty. Royal Hippogriff Knights could potentially get some terror routes, but Temple Guard are not going to buckle easily. They're not going to run easily, and that could potentially be very, very scary here. So the Feral Cold One's getting cleaned up. Dov plays, of course, a very solid play here at the end. He's basically running around. Anything that isn't in that main Lizardman force, he's just picking off, right? You might as well optimize your time, kill everything you can before you get there, and, just butter that bread. So anyways, right here, the Royal Hippogriff Knights do have 5 models. These ones have 9. Yeah, I don't know what Dov can do. Mazdamundi's healing up with Rev Crystals and Apotheosis. There's Skink Skirmishers coming in. There's probably some Javelins left too, I'd imagine. But Dov putting up a great fight. I mean, bringing a very off-meta build, right? Something you don't see often. I think that the Royal Hippogriff Knights did really well. But the Pegasus Knights, I feel like, were still a little bit lackluster. But I think the Hippogriff Knights aren't a bad pick in this matchup at all. So Regrowth going down. Oh, I thought it was a Heaven's Prophetess. No, it actually is a healing one. So I was actually incorrect with that. My apologies. Anyways, here, the Royal Pegasus Knights are going to be charging in, trying to get some freebies on Jabba. And they get a little bit of damage. They actually swarm a lot better than they used to. And he does fly in with the Royal Hippogriff Knights as well. But Mazdamundi is just, he's too thick. He is too sausagey. There's going to be a banishment over here on the far side, hitting the Spearmen and some of those Bretonnian troops. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. The Pegasus Knights and the Hippogriff Knights are all breaking. They're at their healing caps. They're broken. They've been fighting a long time. That's probably going to be army losses. I think Creative Assembly did change army losses, so it doesn't happen quite so quickly. Arcane and Forging also going down in the Prophetess, which is quite good. Going to make sure she doesn't, cast any more healing spells. That's going to be it. So we're 1-1 in the series. Wow. So who said Lizardman could have win, right? They've won. They're 2-1 this stream, I think, which is good. Sotek's build was great. Temple Guard anti-large. He had anti-large spears. I mean, he just had that very tanky, thick pocket. Dov, of course, brought a very off-meta build. Not the usual build you would see here, but the Foot Squires were great. Beast Slayers did good. He was able to do okay in the infantry fight. I think the Royal Hippogriff Knights put a huge amount of damage on some of these elite targets, but the Pegasus Knights just seemed a little bit limp, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and update the scoreboard here. We got a 1-1 series here, brothers. And again, I did miss a donation. So big thanks to Garland Green for the 100 Swedish currency. I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but thank you so much. I believe that's Swedish. Dino Riders did it, man. They did get a buff to their combat stats. Yeah, that was a great game. So we're 1-1 in this finals here. In this best of 5. So I got to pick a new map so they can start picking accordingly. So let's go ahead and pick the Tower of Hoth. This is a great one. Everyone loves Tower of Hoth. Genova, you've never been to one of my streams? Well, welcome. Really glad to have you here. Honor to the mighty Chen and Juan. Well, Lore Master of Sotek is like a Lizardman main. Ooh, Chaos versus Vampire Coast. I think this is really hard for the coasters. Oh yeah, I got to turn up the game volume. I'm sorry. I was just so focused on commentary, but I'll try and do it this time. I can write a note on my desk here. Quinn, the head-to-head campaign with Spartacus. We might still finish that. I mean, I tried to. Yeah, like I don't think he was having as much fun with it as I was, so I think he may have lost a little bit of interest in it. Tomb Kings versus the Coast. Oh, that's even better. This is a matchup I'd really like to see. Although Archeon the Everchosen did get quite a bit stronger. So Dob Plays is going to bring an entire army of scurvy dogs here. I don't know what battle realism mode is, actually. I think it gets rid of, like, the UI. Stylus might be easier. Yeah, I'm not sure on my hand. Yeah, if you guys haven't, definitely like the video. It helps out quite a bit. I'd like to get over 1,000 likes, if that's possible, on this bad boy. On this early access stream. And again, also, we got to give big props to our competitors. Dov, Sotek, Tokshin, and, of course, Janet on occasion. one of my glorious co-casters from the Ever Chosen Invitational. He stepping up, taking time out of their day to play on my channel, and just put on a show for you guys. So big thanks to all those guys. And of course, in the video afterwards, there'll be links to all their channels, so you guys can check them out. Check them out if you haven't. But those guys are awesome. We got 806 likes, boys.
Good old rub.
806.
That's it.
We're almost at 1,000. If we could get to that thick 1,000, that would be quite an accomplishment, I think. All right, so, and big thanks for the donation there. We got $15 coming in, one man's way. Have you tried playing offhand? The problem one man's way is I have horrible tendonitis in both hands. My left hand has it too. Yeah, so there's no escaping it, unfortunately. I was really bad with my hands. I used to like game for. So basically, my regiment in like high school, for example. Well, let's say college is when it really got bad. In high school, I didn't have any problems, but in college, I would go to classes. I'd get home at like 5. I'd go lift weights for 2 hours, 7 days a week. I was really stupid. I never rested. And then from there, because I just loved like working out, and then I would just game from like 9 p.m. to like 4 in the morning, like just nonstop, like every day. And some days I would game for like 6-7 hours. I don't know. I hope we see Cetra on the meme chariot. Maybe Sotek will try it this game. We're in the finals. It's currently 1-1 here. Top Plays and Sotek in this Vampire Coast Early Access Tournament. But look, my feet don't have tendonitis. Yes, I could play with that. You guys want to see a true scurvy dog? Drew Smith. Tossing a bit of dosh into the pot. Thank you so much, Drew, for the fat, erect $50 donation.
That's it.
Oh, I got stories, guys. I have a lot of stories.
Spicy.
I have a business major. I have a bachelor's degree in business. Before I worked, okay, so I'll tell you guys a little bit about my background. So before I worked or started doing YouTube full time, right out of college, I worked as a staff writer for a newspaper, a pretty big newspaper here in Los Angeles. So I used to write articles for the news media in Los Angeles, right? So I would go to events, I would write articles, I would interview people, that kind of stuff. That was my first job out of college. Then after that, I started working in sports. So I started working as an athletic director for a big company that does, like, I'd run track and field, basketball tournaments, soccer tournaments, all that kind of stuff. And while I was working at this as an athletic director, I started doing YouTube on the side for fun. I was just like, oh, I'm going to put up videos. And I never thought I would get more than like my mom and maybe Anna subbing to me, right? But yeah, I don't know. It took off and it became enough to do it full time. And video games are my like true passion in terms of like hobby and things I want to do in my life. So it all worked out in the end. Yeah. Thank you again for that fat 50, man. That really helps. I'll take Anna out to a nice dinner. Or maybe I'll just go get a wrist massage so I can stream more for you. Yeah, I used to lift weights like 7 days a week. Like I used to be able to do like 45 pull-ups, 110, 120 push-ups in one go. Like I used to just be super fit. But now, like once I got my wrist tendonitis, my whole right side of my body atrophied. Like I lost all my muscle mass. Like, cause when it first happened, I couldn't even like lift a water bottle. It hurt so bad in my wrist. So, I mean, things have gotten pretty dark here. I like living in LA because there's a lot of events here, like pertaining to the gaming industry, and also there's a lot of work opportunities. So if I ever did want to get like a full-time job, it'd be a good spot to live. Plus, my family and I'm a partial owner of a condo or an apartment building, I guess, in LA. So I'm able to, I of course have to pay into it because I'm one of the owners, but it's very cheap compared to like most apartments. So it's a good situation. Yes. Robert King, right on, man. Dude, if I could get robot, like a hand like Luke Skywalker has in Star Wars, I would do it in the snap of my fingers. If I knew there was a good cybernetic hand that could like click a mouse all day, I would do it. One man's way. Thank you so much for another 50. Holy shit. Thank you, man. That is a fat. All right, I'm definitely going to go pay for some wrist and forearm massages so I can stream for you guys more this week. I owe it to you guys now. So Luther Harkin, I'm going to try and be doing that stream either tomorrow or Tuesday. And then next Friday is launch day for the Vampire Coast, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to be trying to do like a huge tournament that day. Maybe like an 8-man tournament, see if I can get like Italian Spartacus, have like an Ever-Chosen style format. So cons of living in LA are traffic, pollution. I mean, I don't like the culture of LA at all. I just think it's a good place to live. Like Anna is coming to the States. Like there's a lot of creative jobs that she can do here, but I really don't like LA. Anna and I actually want to move to like Oregon and live out in like the forest. The Cheese Bandit coming in with a fat Canadian donation of $20. Thank you so much. You guys are so generous. I better start focusing on the game though. So for Job Plays, he's going to be playing the Vampire Coast, and again he's here with the Hard Knock Life, Count Noctilus with his giant beard thing, and Invocation of the Heck, Raise Dead, all that kind of good stuff. Oh, game's underway. I better pay attention. Okay, so he's got Lamprey's Revenge, which are the regiment renowned of the gunnery mobs. He's got halberds in the front line, some Zombirate guns, a cannon battery in the back, Rotting Prometheans to actually protect it, and a double Colossus. So he's got double Necrofex Colossus. So the Colossi are doing massive damage against the Ushopti Great Bows of Loremaster of Sotek. Sotek has skeletons, very wide archers, Ushopti Great Bows, and in the forest he has Carrion. Oh, Cetra on the Chariot. Sotek, what a hero of the people, coming in with Cetra on the Chariot of the Gods. Going to be doing a ton of work. But look at these Necrofex Colossus, plus the Carronade in the back. So the Carronade is basically like an Empire Great Cannon for these Zompirates, and it is dumpstering these Chosen of the Gods. So bit of a misplay. Sotek probably should have put those in the forest and then had them creep out, because in this current state, they're just getting like flipped upside down, put in a trash can, like high school bully style. Carrion versus Felbats, the eternal question. Of course, Carrion are going to be able to win that fight. They're much, much more powerful. And yeah, the Felbats are going to have to run. But Cetra on the Chariot of the Gods coming in. It looks like the Necrofex Colossus is going to be taking some pot shots, as well as some of the zombie gunners. Yeah, this is looking a little bit tough for Sotek so far. I mean, he should hide in the forest here and wait for his skeletons to kind of get in there, because that Powder Fire, the Black Spot have anti-large, armor piercing, and they also have charge defense. Oh, Bone Giant would have been great, but those Ushopti Great Bows are being canned right now. Just flipped upside down. And yeah, he should have like deployed in the forest, taking advantage of the map here. The other Ushopti Great Bows are going to be shooting at the Colossus, doing some pretty good damage. Over here we do have Skeleton Spears fighting against the Lamprey's Revenge, who are going to be really tanky. These guys, they regenerate, they have Canton Cannons, they are really good against chaff. Like, they can last forever. 120 armor, 63 melee defense, regenerating. Yeah, good luck killing that quick. The rest of the Tomb Guard and the elite troops are going to be advancing in. The Chosen of the Gods pretty much put in the trash can already. Cetra in the forest looks like he's... oh, these are actually skeleton chariots. And Cetra is going to be taking the wide route, trying to get back here. But, you know, Dov has a great formation. He's got two Colossus. You can see here this guy just taking massive shots with his cannon, just blasting these skeleton chariots here. Skeleton Archers, though, are slowly killing the Black Spot. The Skeleton Archers are a really solid pick. I think if Sotek had just gone with Mass Skeleton Archers and the Blessed Legion of Demonetization, I think he could have killed this this army pretty easily. But anyways, Count Noctilus here, going to continue to be the taking shots downtown here, going after the Ushopti Great Bows, but they're holding pretty firm, this one group, and they are getting this Colossus down. Over here, the Skeleton Chariots do charge into the Black Spot. Black Spot, of course, were braced for that, but they're still crumbling. It's still damage, right? So they're low leadership, but oh, that Colossus with the point-blank shot, just absolutely decking the Chariots. Oh my god, just so much damage coming in on the Chariots here, just brutal stuff. But Cetra is in the back line on the Chariot with the Chariot of the Gods. He has taken some damage, but Cetra is no joke. So here comes Cetra, getting in, cleaning up the zombie pirate gunnery mob. Spearmen back here. Carrion are disrupting the Carronade. Oh, wow. Those Carrion are able to single-handedly like mitigate the defensive capabilities of the pirate mob and the crabs and shut down the Carrion. Now, if Cetra could swoop back here and kill this cannon crew, that would be very strong. And these Ushopti Great Bows are sitting pretty happily. So Cetra is able to just massacre those gun lines in the back. So the Black Spot, all the powder units are offline. Now you really just have to deal with like the big Colossi, right? That's going to be the heavy stopping power here. So Cetra riding in. It looks like his Chariot's going to be going into battle. He pops the Blessed Blade of Petra, which is going to 3 melee defense, 20 melee attack. It also does fire damage, and Noctilus is weak to fire. So Cetra on the Chariot should be able to put up a great fight against Noctilus. On top of that, Tomb Guard are pushing in as well. Noctilus is not a good melee combatant. I mean, he's not bad, but like Cetra, even on a Chariot, should be able to do really well. That Blessed Blade of Petra, a great pick here. Ushopti Great Bows are now stable. The Ushopti Great Bows in the back are picking on Noctilus. We do have Skeleton Archers shooting at him as well, and the Tomb Guard infantry are outclassing the zombies heavily. This other Colossus here is being chased down by spears, and suddenly a game that was looking very bad for Sotek is looking pretty good. Yeah, he's cleaning up shop pretty well. I mean, the double Colossus is a big spend. So the Rotting Prometheans able to shut down the Skeleton Chariots in the back. The Carronade is like just the zombies are just shambling as they're being picked on by just birds and all kinds of just crap back there. But Noctilus getting put in a can by Cetra. Cetra does fire damage as is on the Chariot of the Gods, so the fire damage giving a damage multiplier against Count Noctilus, which is just super punishing. So right now Dov is going to be running, but he can't run that efficiently because he never finished off the Chosen of the Gods, who do have the Shield Breaker. Granted, that doesn't matter here, but he never finished off the Ushopti Great Bows. So right here, Count Noctilus is, getting put down. The Ushapti Grapos putting that fire, and Cetra is just chasing him with the Nero's incantation. The crabs are going to try and stop him, but Noctilus is getting so low. He has 1100 HP. This is an absolutely insane game. I can't believe that Sotek is pulling this one out with Cetra. I mean, I feel like Cetra on a chariot might actually be like good now. I don't know, maybe it was just something that people never really knew about, but this is just absolutely crazy. Necrofex Colossus here is being dragged down. Colossi have really bad melee defense, so Skeleton Spears and Chaff can drag them down pretty quick. You can see here he's just like, oh, do you see him? He's like trying to shoot at those birds flying around him. Oh my god, that's so funny. Skeleton Archers paying their dues. The Ushapti summon is going to be pouring into the back line of these zombies and these undead kind of statues here. Well, they're not really dead, they're just kind of like animated statues. Are going to be given the dirty business to the zombie pirate deckhand mob. So what a game by Sotek. I really thought he was doomed in the beginning, but Count Noctilus gets taken out by Cetra. Cetra does not serve anyone, especially giant pirate ships. So Cetra the Imperishable fighting the Rotting Prometheans, who are also weak to fire, if I'm not mistaken. They might be. Let's go ahead and check. I want to be correct about this. No, they're not weak to fire. Okay, they don't regenerate, but the Lampreys, the Regiment Renown one, is weak to fire because they do regenerate. Some of Ushapti is cleaning up. And it really feels like, even though the Lamprey's Revenge are still here, look at these guys. They should have been back there probably helping deal with some of those heavier units. But they got their shotguns, and they're annihilating the Tomb Guard. I mean, they took almost no damage against Tomb Guard. They have 160 kills. The Lamprey's Revenge are very, very good. So here they come. They're going to be pushing in, cleaning up some skeletons. But Cetra is just so angry here, cleaning up these Rotting Prometheans. And, yeah, well, they're constructs, right? Yeah. I get it, but I mean, what moves the construct, right? It has to be some sort of magic, some sort of animation, right? That through the magic that is animating them, because otherwise they're just constructs that stand still and don't do anything, right? The Summoned Ushapti are going to be dissipating. The other Necrofex Colossus being dragged down, and down it goes, falling onto the skeletons. Oh my god, what a dramatic death animation that thing has. Carrion just like flying as well, but man, these Skeleton Legions doing it. Cetra rolls, boys. Cetra rolls. So Lore Master of Sotek going up 2-1. In this best of 5 series, and if Lore Master of Sotek is actually able to win this, then he's going to win the series. Wow, that was awesome. What a great game. Let me go ahead and update the scoreboard here. I really thought Sotek was screwed with that initial like cannon volleys that were coming in, but Dob didn't quite stick through and finish the Ushapti Grapos. His cannon kind of got shut down. The Colossus should have just finished them off. Had he been able to finish off those Ushapti Grapos, maybe. So let me go ahead and pick a new map here. So we are in spectator mode also, so I have access to the maps and everything. So it's really neat. So I can just pick these, and I would pick the Black Ark, but unfortunately it's been changed into a bit of a campaign map, which is tough. The Estalian Tomb is which one? I'm trying to remember what that one looks like. Yeah, we can do the Estalian Tomb. Yeah, it's a good map. It did abandon ship earlier, but you guys, we just didn't see it. It abandoned ship when it's at like 30 or 40%, I think. And it was already very low, and the zombies had already died. So, no, the Ushapti Grapos don't need a nerf. I mean, he could have killed those bows, but he switched the targeting to try and kill Cetra. He should have stayed disciplined and finished off the bows. Yeah. All the Tomb King constructs, except for the Necrosphinx, have souls bounded to them. Oh, okay. So they're like sentient. That's kind of cool. Hey, what's up, Robert King? Yeah, I noticed your picture from before, so I kind of figured it was you. Verse. Let's see it. Who is Sotek gonna play? Oh, Chaos vs Wood Elves. Okay. I was hoping to see more Coast. Granted, we've gotten a lot of Coast this stream, so I think that we've had our fill. We've seen a couple Noctilus games. We haven't seen Luther Harkin actually on the stream, which I'm surprised. He's really good. Luther, well, yes, we did see him earlier actually, in the very, very beginning. Yeah, he actually died earlier. I think Sotek wants to show you guys the new and improved Archeon. Archeon got huge buffs to his armor piercing, so. But yeah, my thoughts of as it pertains to living in Los Angeles. I mean, yeah, it's okay. I don't like the traffic. It's a little bit crowded. Anna is like lived in a forest her whole life, and I kind of want to also. So we're going to be moving probably to Oregon in like 2 or 3 years. We own this property here, but eventually we're going to sell it. It's a bit of an investment property, and yeah, eventually we'll move to Oregon. Oh, constructs are imbued with the souls of ancient heroes. That's pretty gangster. Yeah, no, I mean, my whole family is like in the entertainment industry, and I definitely don't like all the musicians and actors. And we got a couple donations on PayPal from Jesse. Thank you so much for the fatty donation there. I really appreciate it. And Christian, Jesse, and Ruben as well. So Ruben, thank you for that. The PayPal ones do come in a little bit delayed, so my apologies if I miss those as far as my PC goes. And also a big thanks to Isaac for the donation as well. You guys are awesome. Hope you guys enjoy these tournament streams. I'm going to be doing these a lot. 87 more likes to get to 1,000. Let's do it, guys. This is like a record stream. This is a record stream. Yeah. Disciple, we're not set on Oregon. We would explore other places like Idaho and Maine and all of that. Like, we're very flexible. I don't have a fantasy football league. I used to. I played football for 7 years. I played American football. I played running back and safety in high school. I actually have my highlight video that I was sending to colleges for recruitment. So if you guys want to, I could maybe release that as like something funny for you guys to laugh at, me playing football, if you guys want to see it. And yeah, but maybe. Ride now! Ride to 1,000 likes! Yeah, we want to live in like a really green forest area. But again, we need to make sure we have good internet, so we'll probably live on like the outskirts of like a city in Oregon, but that still has access to infrastructure, you know? Wood Elves vs. Chaos is a fun matchup. I think it favors Chaos heavily. If Sotek just brings like 4 Chaos Knights and like the Warp Chicken, I mean, I don't know if Dov can win that. Dov, yeah, I would have liked to see Coast vs. Chaos, but he played Coast last time. I don't spend time in traffic because I work at home. You guys want to see the video? Okay. Yeah, I'll put it out. Look, and as a disclaimer, I wasn't the best. I was okay. I was just a fast runner. I wasn't like a particularly good football player, but I'll put it out for you guys. Maybe when we get to like 50K. It's really bad quality because it's from 2005. Like, it's like camcorder 2005. Yes. All right, guys, and we are here with a showdown between the Warriors of Chaos. We're going to be led by the KFC Lord, the keeper of the drumsticks. He's going to be dropping some hot final transmutation on the Wood Elf Lords, and he's always a pretty good choice. He's like immune to missiles, essentially. So he's really good against Wood Elf missile play. In the front line for Chaos, we do have Chaos Marauders, Forsaken, just a super wide army. The Mirror Guard on the far side, 2 groups of Hounds. We also have, what is that? What is happening? Oh, it's the Soul of Damnation. We have the Chaos Chariot, and we do have the Soul of Damnation. So Sotek coming in with a pretty strange build. We also have one group of Dragon Ogres, which are just kind of a keep it honest thing against Wood Elves, because in case they go with like Dragon or Treekin or things like that, you want to have someone who can kill those. So I really like Sotek's build. There's Hounds, tons of Infantry, Soul of Damnation, one group of Chariots, Mirror Guard, and yeah, a lot of doggies, a lot of doggos. Yeah, Turin is my middle name in real life. Yes. Yes, it is. It's my middle name. So the entire front line for the Wood Elves is going to be Eternal Guard. He has 2 Treekin. He has the Firebark Elders, and he also has an Ancient Tree Man with Lore of Life. So Earthblood, Awakening of the Wood, Dwellers Below. So he's going to be doing like some life DPS build. Winterheart Guards, Loex Tricksters, and the Wards of Sithril in the back. So heavy AP. 2 Skirmisher Cav, which will probably be dealing with Hounds mostly, but I think the Poison Hounds are going to be a lot of pressure on those. So yeah, I mean, it's not a bad army. I don't know how it's going to deal with like the heavy Forsaken and stuff. I mean, Treekin are okay against them, and of course the Ancient Tree Man, it's going to give some supporting elements. But yeah, I feel like this Chaos army is pretty darn good. Yeah. All right, here we go. So yeah, I was about to tell them to start, but these guys are way ahead of me. So the battle's underway. Chaos, the Soul of Damnation. It's going to force the Wood Elves out. Wood Elves cannot sit with the Soul of Damnation, just dropping that hot, steamy Slanesh balls on the face of the Wood Elves here. The Skirmishers are going to be poking in. Probably the best choice is just to shoot at like Forsaken and things like that, but Dov needs to be really careful. Oh my god, the Soul of Damnation pounding the Winterheart Guard, just taking them down to half health immediately. We do have some doggos, but oh, Dov, this is risky. Those are Poison Hounds. Poison Hounds are going to slow you. It's going to be really tough to get away. The KFC Drumstick King is coming as well. He's going to be dropping some hot fire. And the Wood Elves are advancing. It looks like they're going to be doing some sort of magic here. No, maybe an Earthblood going down, but Soul of Damnation, again, pounding the Winterheart Guards. He should probably switch that to the Warden, to the Loex Tricksters. But the Hound's coming around for a big surround, a very turtley Wood Elf army. He actually does break the Hounds, but at the cost of one of his Glade Riders. I don't think that was worth it. Granted, he did stop up the Chariots. He charges into the Marauders, but yeah, he needs to get out. Like, any value Dov got is going to be immediately lost if he doesn't pull these guys out. So Dov, pull those guys back. Retreat. But he is going to be pushing in his Wood Elves. And yeah, the Hounds in the back as well are just kind of looking to feast. So as soon as these Glade Riders with the Hagbane tips run, oh, and the Soul of Damnation pounding those Wildwood Rangers in the back, and the KFC King himself is going to be kind of circling, and a final transmutation is going to be so punishing against this Wood Elf blob. In the meantime, we do have the Dragon Ogres fighting the Tree Man, so there is a Tree Man, and he's going to have a pretty bad time here. I mean, he's fully surrounded. I mean, the Wood Elves need some reinforcing elements here, and this is a pretty good play, but look at that. An overcasted final transmutation, slapping on the Tree Man and all of these guys. I mean, just such brutal stuff here for Dob plays. And also we do have the cannon. So the cannon here, the Soul of Damnation, dropping some hot fire on the Firebark Elders. And the KFC King is coming in as well. So he comes in with his drumstick and pounds one of those Firebark Elders. Dob is doing everything he can to kind of hold and fight, but I think that Chaos is just, I don't know, it's hard to say. I feel like Chaos is a little bit thick here. Granted, they are kind of taking a bit of damage here. The Forsaken are kind of losing. The Chaos Marauders, Chaos Warriors are all taking a bit of damage. Pretty even fight. KFC King, of course, is in good shape. That Soul of Damnation, I mean, if there was like one Wild Rider to get back there and kill that, that would just be so valuable. But this is a bit of a scary Wood Elf Death Star. The Scroll of Leeching going down, that Soul of Damnation just direct hitting some of the Treekin there. The Dragon Ogres are actually taking a bit of work. They've lost a couple models, it looks like, and the Tree Men, and yeah, I don't know. This is a close fight, but look at the Forsaken rear charging Eternal Guard. The Loex Tricksters should be able to massacre those Chaos Warriors, and yeah, this is, man, if Dov gets these Glade Riders, if he has the presence of mind to like see that they're back, and either number one, take out the Chariots, or number two, go back here and take out the Soul of Damnation, Dov might be able to get back in this game here. Sorry, there's some dogs running around the kitchen, but anyways, Wood Elves are holding firm. I mean, there really needs to be an Earthblood, but the Loex Tricksters coming in to attack the Warriors of Chaos, and oh man, these Loex Tricksters are going to give the dirty business to these Dragon Ogres. I mean, they are a direct counter. Even though a couple of them are getting clubbed, Soul of Damnation is raining some fire. He needs to keep those guys in, but it looks like he's going to be bouncing backwards, and I would have kept those guys fighting the Dragon Ogres. I mean, I know he wants to go get the Soul of Damnation back here, but that would have just been so good to kill those guys. Because the Soul of Damnation isn't going to like kill the Ancient Tree Man, right? The Dragon Ogres are, but he does have the Winterheart Guard here. He has some... Oh, the Mirror Guard still have 68 models here, though, but at least the Tree Man can slap those guys up. A big Chaos Blob over here. Wood Elves are holding here with some Wardens of Sithral, who are cleaning up the Chaos Warriors. And it looks like the Loex Tricksters are pushing into the back, and Warp Chicken is going to be taking these spears to the face. I mean, they're going to be putting those chicken kebabs on the skewers here with those spears, but probably a worthy engagement to keep the Soul of Damnation online, but I honestly would have just killed the Dragon Ogres and have them finish off the Mirror Guard and then push forward from there. Dov still hasn't realized he has his Glade Guard back. They would have been able to do the trick and get back there had he noticed that, but Wood Elves look like they're in okay shape. I mean, if he has more healing, and Earthblood is going to be so cost-effective here. And Chaos is getting a little bit thin, right? Sartorial, the Everchicken, is getting beaten up by the Loex Tricksters. Marauders, of course, doing a good job against the light infantry, but yeah, KFC King's getting surprisingly low. If you look at his HP, he does about 3,800 HP. Poison Hounds piling in. The Treekin are starting to advance here. But there's quite a bit of chaos back here. 54 Forsaken. This Tree Man needs to stay with his blob. If he gets... Oh, man. I really wish Dov had just finished off those Dragon Ogres. That would have been so good for him. But it looks like he's trying to get the Warp Chicken and get to the Soul of Damnation, which is almost out of ammunition. It's at about 40%. Well, yeah, how many shots? It actually has... Does that have 20 shots left? That can't be right. Ooh, and another final transmutation coming down on Dov plays there, which is going to be absolutely devastating. The Wood Elf's taking a massive amount of damage. Chaos has quite a bit of stuff here. I mean, this Tree Man, I would love to see it get back here if it could. Looks like the Tree Man takes the Soul of Damnation shot right on the face here, and Dov is trying to get this thing back to like his reinforcing troops, which is a good choice. Just keep running that Tree Man. It's still steady at least. Get it back there. Kill the Soul of Damnation at this point. And then, but yeah, he can't afford to lose this Tree Man. There is so much power in this. So the Soul is going to go down here. The Spearmen and everyone else should be able to kill it. It does not look like Dov plays kind of detached his Soul of Damnation. And yeah, Sotek is probably going to lose this artillery piece here in the back. So yeah, close game here so far. Tree Man, the bounce power, of course, is very one-sided. But again, the Tree Man, if he can get away, these Eternal Guard can kind of stabilize it. And the Tree Man needs to unify with these guys and get another Earthblood, and then he's going to be in good shape from there. So right here, yeah, you can see the Soul is going down pretty quick to the Tree Man and all those Spear Units and stuff. But this guy needs to get back. I mean, these Dragon Ogres, the two Tree Men like standing on top of each other is so powerful. And it missed out on that Earthblood too. You can see the bounce of power actually teetering a little bit as that Earthblood does go off, which is pretty cool stuff here. And yeah, just leave the Soul. I mean, it's not quite broken. There's still 2 cannon crews left, a couple guys fighting, but this is such a big loss, losing that Tree Man like that. That's a shame, because like the rest of his forces aren't that powerful, and this thing actually has a lot of like stopping power, right? So as far as Wood Elves go, I don't think there's a whole lot left. Dov Plays looks like he's gonna probably get worn down. He could have finished off those Dragon Ogres. A couple misplays, I think, could have done it, or like changes. Like had Dov finish off the Dragon Ogres with the spears when he had that flank, and then been a little bit more patient with the Soul of Damnation, or maybe use some of his other elements to get there, maybe. But the Tree Man is going to be breaking here. You can see he's getting slapped by the KFC and all the Chaos Marauders and stuff like that, and now it has 300 HP. So, I mean, he does have a pocket of strength with low Strictures. He did get an Earth let off, but, I mean, Sartorial's pretty strong. He's going to be able to kill most of these infantry. There's still Marauders. There's a full health group of Forsaken. Mirror Guard are in good health. I think that's going to be all she wrote. I know. I hope, I had hoped that we could go to a game 5 as well, but Zotac played really well with the KFC King. Dov's build was good. I mean, it almost worked. Just a couple little things I think that, had he changed, those skirmish cap in the beginning didn't need to engage like that either. That was a little bit risky taking that engagement, so. That is a lot of chaos, but had two Ancient Tree Men been standing on top of each other and had been like healing, I mean, it might have been really tough for them to finish them off. The Lore Master of Zotac is going to be the champion of our Early Access Vampire Coast tournament today. Well played to him. He put on some great shows with Lizardmen, Vampire Coast, all these different factions today. Let's hear a big round of applause for the man himself, Lore Master of Zotac, and it looks like we're almost at 1,000 likes before the end of the stream. If we could get there just before the end, that would be great. Richard, thank you for the donation as well. And Jesse, thank you for another generous donation on the PayPal. You guys are awesome. So let's hear it for Zotac. Man of the hour, champion of the day. Big thanks to Zotac, Dob Plays, Jana on Occasion, and Tokshen, one of the newer members of our Flash Tournament community, stepping in and putting on a great show. And yeah, the Dwarfs did good today. I think they got played in one game, didn't they? Well, Dwarf Furious, I've had a lot of Dwarf games, and I've had a lot of success with them against Coast and everyone else, so they're very, very good. Yeah, what a game. What a game. Well played to both of these guys. We did it. 15 more. Oh my god. Lore Master of Zotac for the Emperor. Yeah, Zotac has to run, actually. He said he had somewhere to go, so that he was like probably trying to win super hard so he could jam out. But, oh man, another donation coming in. I would play a little bit more, but my hands are actually in a lot of pain from streaming for 4 hours yesterday, plus this. Nice and hot. Cashing in towards Turin Cyberarm. Just don't use macros in it, please. Yeah, no problem. Yuri, thank you so much for the donation, man. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I can afford a Cyberarm someday. And that's it. No, the guys had to go. The gentleman had to go. So unfortunately we can't do an FFA, but yeah, that's going to be it for today. Dwarves are really good, trust me. Dwarves are really strong against Vampire Coast. Just go look at the battle I had versus Indie Pride. That was a good one. Granted, he was bringing a bit of a fun army and just playing around, so I don't know if it's a true test, but I feel like Dwarves are really good, and like they're a good faction. Dov, you put up a great fight, my dude. Those were some great matches the entire tournament. You put on a good show. Even after coming back from the Scurvy Dog incident, you did very, very well. And I'm proud of you, man. Proud of you. Good shit. Yeah, the Firebark Elders, yeah, they were pretty tired there at the end. All right, guys. So this is a record stream. We had about 1,600 people watching, which is insane. So big thanks to all of you guys for joining. We got to see some crazy Vampire Coast games with Luther. We saw Count Noctilus a couple times today. We saw some Scurvy Dogs. We saw Saloistra pimp slapping some Empire dudes on her Leviathan. It was insane. It was insane. Yeah. Yeah, Indie Pride's here in chat, and he's even saying that, you know, the Dwarves have a good matchup versus Coast. I think it's very true. Yeah, and not having AP on the... And plus, he was just messing around in that build, so it wasn't really a good indication. So yeah, that is it for now, guys. We got there. As far as streaming goes, I'm going to be streaming again on... when are we going to stream? Probably tomorrow. We'll do a campaign stream. This Friday, we're going to be trying to do like a launch day kind of mini Ever-Chosen event, maybe an 8-man tournament if we can. And since it's on launch day, I can invite people from outside of the influencer community as well, which will be quite a bit of fun. So yeah, that's going to be next Friday maybe, or Saturday or Sunday. We might decide to do it, but there's going to be several Luther streams this week. You're going to have daily quick battles as well. And yeah, thanks for joining, guys. Hey, you're welcome, Morgan. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'm actually going to be posting the battle where you played Vampire Counts against my Aranessa Saltspite tomorrow, so that one's going to be going up tomorrow. So I'm going to take a lovely Lady Turin out to the forest. We're going to have some fun. Well played to all of you guys, and yeah, that's it for now. So thanks again, guys. Make sure to follow me over on Twitter at TurinRTS if you guys need updates regarding streams and what I'm going to be doing them. That's usually where I post them. So make sure to follow me over there, and we're going to be. Yeah, let me update the scoreboard just for posterity. So. Zotac coming in with some hard-fought games. Those games were close. They were all really good games, so nothing terribly one-sided. I'll try and talk Anna into streaming as well if I can. Thank you guys so much for joining. Join tomorrow for Luther Harkin Let's Play Part 3. We're actually getting pretty close to the end of the campaign. Like, I feel like we're more than halfway through. And then throughout the week, battles, and next weekend we'll be back to our regular Flash tournament schedule. Thanks again for joining, guys. And yeah, that's it for now. Cheers.